Right. Welcome back, everybody. We're getting things restarted over here. What's up, Mimu? Welcome back. How are you doing? We just came back from some technical difficulties. Yeah, we had. I was trying to. We're playing Night in the Woods, and I was getting like crazy frame drops. And I was like, "Why is this happening?" And my CPU was just like, "Help me, I'm dying!" And so I tried to put it out of its misery, but it rebirthed itself. Reggie! Thank you for the Bakumitai. It makes everything better. We're flipping the switches on a couple of programs we still need to turn back on, so give me a second. All right, there we go. We got that up. We got this one over here. We gonna get this one up. There we go. I don't care. Windows, I don't care. It's like, hey, we updated your browser. I do not care. Okay, close that, close this one. There we go. What's your idea, Reggie? Snooze ads or run them? I mean, let them run. We're gonna be setting some stuff up here for a second anyway. So Twitch loves to do the thing where it's like, oh, we're gonna do ads right whenever like we're gonna reset the counter for your ads per live. I remember one time I was like doing some test streaming and like I went live and I quit the stream and ads came up. I went live again a few minutes later and it was like, "Oh, you want more ads?" I was like, "No, I don't." That's so dumb. Blast one winged angel while pulling packs of Final Fantasy Magic set. While trying for Taffy or Clive. I mean, I might just do that anyway. That's your plan, though. That's what you were going to do. All right. We'll launch the game again. But I feel like we're in a healthier state, but we're going to find out. I don't know if you saw my last compliment train, but I'm going to post. If not, I'm going to post it again. Oh, do it to it. Yeah, I definitely didn't see it. All right. Let me see. There's my game. There we go. All right, and where there's nothing to limit the FPS outside of the game, but I'll look for that right away when we start the game. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's give this another go. Why is it showing my desktop? What? What is happening, dude? What? OBS is so confused, man. That was the weirdest thing ever. Fenced! Reggie said, all right, take two. Whenever I get like super emotionally sad, I think about everyone here and all the kindness I've been shown. And I just want to say thank you to everyone and that I love you all and appreciate everyone here big time. Oh, dude, Reggie, man, that means so much. Dude, the feeling's super mutual. You gotta know that, man. I'm sorry I didn't see that earlier. But dude, you don't have to thank us for that. It's our pleasure. For real, dude. Just part of Part of what it is to be here, man. Yeah, dude. Like, what if you saw something you weren't supposed to see? What if that happened? I would never keep that on my desktop. But Reggie, man, seriously, thank you so much, dude. I know we're in ads right now, so some of us might not be present. But we'll be out of ads here in, I don't know, 2 minutes or so. Yeah, hearts in the chat, dudes. If you're seeing this right now, hearts in the chat for Reggie. Hearts in the chat for all y'all. Because he's sending the love to all of us right now. You're a good lad, Reggie. Whenever I'm having a tough day emotionally too, this is a place that I always find some solace in. That's so weird, dude. This game is so weird in the way that it interacts with my system. All right, frames are still fine. Anytime I click out of it though, it's just like even if I take this off, right? Full screen is off. And now we're just getting nothing. And if I turn on, oh dude, game capture just kills it for some reason. What the heck? So wait. Okay, now there it is. How's our frame rate doing? CPU usage just spiked. It did not like that. It did not like that. You can't even adjust anything with the what's up, Darth? How you doing? Welcome back, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, you can't even adjust the frames on this game. So it's just like, I want to hate you. Yo, Reggie with the squats. Okay, I'll do some squats. I'm gonna have to work off some of this this technical issue frustration somehow. All right, here, let me try something. Let me try something. If we're gonna turn that off. We're gonna turn this on. We don't got nothing there. All right, we're troubleshooting right now, chat. We're troubleshooting. Okay. Night in the woods. All right. Why isn't that showing anything? Oh, that's wacky. What if I pull this out here? Still nothing. All right, I will try one more thing. I have an idea. I'm good, Darth. All things considered, I'm pretty good. We're running into some like technical issues at the moment. We're having a hard time running this game. Like, of all the games that we've played, for some reason, Night in the Woods is giving us a hassle today. I'm just following orders given. Wait, who said it? Oh, Jen said it. Jen, you've done this. You've done this. All right. Check out. We're going to add. Uh-oh. Elgum! Elgum!
Troubleshoot. I always make sure my stomach is full with the great taste of coral fried chocobo. Ba da ba ba ba. I'm mooching it.
No! Don't do this to us, Elgum. All right, if I add this back in, I'm dead. That did not work. All right. Remove. Uh-huh. This is so weird, dude. I mean, maybe, Kevin. Maybe. Hold on. I have to try another thing or two first. Why is that showing up multiple times? It's got like 2 instances of Night in the Woods. For some reason. Yeah, we tried windowed mode. It's so weird because this has not happened to me with any other game I've played recently. So it's kind of bizarre that this is happening like this. All right, let's try. Let's try this. Okay, if I'm using this capture method, it'll grab it. So we've got the game, which will freeze even if I'm not on it. When I go onto it, then we've got the game. Okay, let's bring that guy right down here. Right down over here. All right. Where are we at with frames? We've got dropped frames. What is with this game? It doesn't take that long to uninstall, reinstall. No, it doesn't take that long at all. I'm just so surprised. Like, what if we just drop this literally to 720p? It doesn't really do anything. It just makes it small. I don't like it. Hold on, let me see though. I don't know. We're gonna fix it though. We're definitely gonna fix it. All right, that definitely changed things with the frame rate. Are we gonna have to play this at 720? I don't want to play this at 720. I so don't. Okay. Small. Yeah, I mean, we could blow it up, but you're gonna feel it, you know? Perhaps Google it. If it's on Steam, you might be able to input a command prompt for settings to fix a common problem. That's the thing. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about what I would need to put in to fix something like this. You're just chilling at your college, Darth. Man, what's good at your college today? You haven't yet sacrificed enough chocobos to the gods. I won't either. You can't make me. All right, there's nothing else we can adjust here, right? Nothing in extras. No. How does this game not have graphics options, dude? It's just got this. Okay, but let's just try. Whoops. Okay, all right. And then let me reset this. Let me reset the size of that. There we go. Okay, it's I don't think it's a spoopy game, Siege. I don't know. I've never played it before. Right now, the real horror is in trying to get it to work for us because it's currently not. We're gonna leave full screen off. Okay. Let's just leave it like this. And then let's see. Still getting frame drops, dude. I mean, it was just like, it just dropped 1 frame. But I never drop frames when I'm streaming. Just this game is causing issues. And I'm not sure why. Siege, it's good to see you, dude. How are you today, man? I'm not stop motion right now. There is potential for stop motion. I am seeing it happen. Like, I'm watching our frame counter, and we're going from 60 to 52 to 56 to 59 to 56. And it's never like that. I drop frames all the time. I'm so clumsy. Go Butterfingers. Frames Butterfingers. Maybe time to try Ghosty's idea. What was Ghosty's idea? I already spent money on this game. I already bought this game. I'm not gonna buy it again on PlayStation, and I'd have to spend more money to play it on PlayStation Plus. I won't do that. That's a good logical next step though. Verifying the integrity of the game files. Maybe there's something there. This is so bizarre. You know what though? It's not unheard of. We've had, you guys don't know this because I solved most of these issues before we started playing it, but whenever I was playing Chrono Trigger, I couldn't even like capture that game for a while. And it was like, it just didn't play nice with OBS. And this seems like something similar, but it's not quite the same issue. Let's take a look. Let me see. This is a pretty small game though, so if we have to reinstall it, it won't take that long. Okay, try again. I wonder. I'm also like, what if it's like the drive that we're running it on? I don't know. There's too many variables. I'm doing pretty good, all things considered, Siege. I'm glad to hear that you are too, man. Dude, also, I am like super excited that you're joining us for the Sanctuary Squad and our fundraiser this month. I'm so excited about that, man. I've got a couple of things to button up for it this week. But I'll be getting in touch with everybody. Like, we'll get our group chat going and everything too here pretty soon. I was waiting on a couple of people to respond that I reached out to as well, and they responded earlier today. So, after the stream, I'll probably be taking a look at some of that, and early tomorrow, I'll be finishing up whatever I need to. But I'll have some material for you guys, and nothing like intensive or scary, but like stuff that'll just be helpful. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Fencers, Sage the Day is joining us for our fundraiser this month, and it's cool, man. We've had a couple of people come in today that are gonna be a part of the team too, and I'm so excited about it, man. I'm so excited about it. I was hoping that we could like do some collaboration with the rest of the team. I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot like streaming together wise, because my month got super packed. I applied to a job, they accepted my application, and so now I've got like orientation and It's going to take a week, and then the week after that, they're setting me up with a new schedule. And so like there's just a lot of things that are kind of up in the air that changed my plans a little bit for this. So that part's kind of a bummer. It's also cool because I've been, I need a job, but it just kind of like limited some of my time. But I think there's 5 other streamers who are going to be a part of this too. And I encourage everybody to do what they like to do for fundraising. If they want to collaborate together, you guys are encouraged to do that too. I'll support you guys in any way I can. I'll be looking out for who's live on the team, and we'll send raids everybody's ways and stuff like that too. But we'll talk more about that like as the month goes on. But yeah, it's gonna be really awesome. I'm so stoked, and thank you, Siege. I appreciate that. Thank you too, Mimu. I appreciate y'all. Okay, so we have the game reinstalled. This is just the first boss. It seems like a tough game. One of the most challenging games I've ever played. One of the most challenging games ever. Okay. And this is so weird too, man. So normally with the game, I'll go to like verify the integrity of the game files, right? And the option is just like right there for me to do so. On this one, I can't even get to that. Oh, now I can. Wait. No, now I can. All right, here we go. Oh man, I really hope it was just a bad installation or something. I didn't even see this option before. Sorry, if you're wondering what's happening, I am verifying the integrity of these game files before we start it up again, and it looks like it's good. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it another shot. All the negative reviews are about developer drama and not technical issues, so I'm at a loss. Yeah, I read a thing or two that there was developer drama around this. Not sure I really understand what the deal with it is, but... Okay. We've got the game back. Can I learn more about Sanctuary Squad without taking up too much time? And if I did start streaming, could I potentially qualify? Just curious. I've finished with the outreach for now, so not this time around. But Sanctuary Squad will be around for future fundraising. So if you're interested down the road, then I'll be letting people know and reaching out and stuff whenever we're doing another event. Thanks for asking though, Kev. It's new. It's brand new. It's something we just started up for this fundraiser. But depending on how this goes, I think it'd be cool to do more stuff together with anybody who wants to do more stuff together. All right. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. I still have to do squats, but we're solving one problem at a time here.
Did you know that malnutrition affects hundreds of thousands of children all around the world, leading to less than ideal physical and mental health outcomes?
Get out of here!
You too can join the Sanctuary Squad and give children the healing powers of a nice, warm and comforting dinner when they need it most.
Where is
Squad
it?
Up at CFC. Bring Sanctuary
There it
to
is.
children.
Okay.
We need your help.
All right, listen, though, that was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good. I spoke too soon. I thought that Elgoom was about to just like go on a tirade about eating chocobos, but no. All right, I owe you an apology, Elgoom, and you too, Zwire. Is this your first time playing Night in the Woods? I hope so. I hope so. Also, hi, Lucid. Welcome back, man. We've been having technical issues with this game for some reason, so it's been kind of hard to get it started. It's been causing like a lot of frame drops. The game was not running very well. We're gonna try again though. We're gonna start it up. So far, our friend, it's saved. Oh, brilliant. Okay, we don't even have to start all the way over. Good stuff. All right, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. I'd love to hear more about this new job and what you're doing if that's not too personal. Oh no, not at all. I work in mental health and I'm a certified peer specialist, right? I'm working as a CPS in a crisis residence. So it's a facility where people who are experiencing mental health crisis or crisis related to disabilities, they can go and stay for up to 5 to 10 days. Actually, I think it's 3 to 10 days. I think the average stay is about 5 days though. And it's like, it's all set up in like a big house. So like everybody gets their own room. Well, most people get their own rooms. Some people share, like have roommates, but it's just in a house and you can stay there, you know, get back on your feet, gain your bearings, get connected to some mental health resources, sort of recover from whatever the crisis inducing event was, and get support there while you're staying. So I'm gonna go and basically just hang out with the residents that come in. I'm gonna run groups and then just provide peer support for people while they're there during the day. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a pretty good job. The atmosphere seemed really chill and relaxed, especially for something that's like tied to crisis, you know? I'm looking forward to it. I think the people that work there are really cool. So I'm excited to get to know them a bit better. But yeah. Apparently can't type you at my keyboard. Lucid, you're not alone, dude. I type like actual butt sometimes. Like it's just typos left and right. Finally graduated? Yeah, buddy. Hell yeah. Lucid! Congratulations, man. Dude, you got that diploma in your hand? You got it in your hand now? I am so excited for you, dude. Flux, yeah. We'll give him another one. I wish Derek was here. I didn't even say 3 cheers this time, but I'll do 3. Look it. 3 cheers for Lucid. Dude, it's been a long road. How do you feel, man? I'm so proud of you. This is awesome. Thank you, thank you. I don't have it in my hand. It will be mailed to me pretty soon. That's it. We're suing. We're suing the school. He should have it in his hand right now. He's graduated. What are they doing? What's the holdup? There should be like a jingle about this. I don't know why I'm thinking of like the stupid J.G. Wentworth jingle, but if it were for like college degrees. Oh no. Can't wait for the next event. Hoping I can catch some of y'all streams for it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'll reach out to you again for future stuff if you're comfortable with it too, Mimu. You're definitely like on our short list for stuff like that. There's a handful of creators that we really excited to work with when we were thinking of anything collaborative in the past. You're definitely on the list. It's your first time play? Yeah. First time playing Night in the Woods. I'm playing it on PC. Yep. I'm really excited about it. I'm very excited about the game. Sadistic son of a gun, what's up, dude? Welcome back, man. How are you doing tonight? I got a new PC, so I'm chatting with you all through my new PC. Oh, heck yeah. That's what's up. Dude, a new PC? That's so hype. That's such a good feeling. What are you running in it, man? You know, it makes total sense that you'd be working in a field that supports mental health, said Lucid. That is awesome, dude. I can see you as a therapist, Vince. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I wonder how I would do as a therapist. You know, I'd have to go to school for all that. And it'd definitely be a different role, you know, than what I do currently as a peer specialist. And I really like the peer specialist role. But I'm not gonna lie, man. I've always been interested in therapy and, you know, potentially going down that road. Maybe one day. I think if anything, I just want to learn enough to get, like, I would like to learn what one would have to get like a degree in like psychiatry or psychology in general. So I don't know. Might be something I do at some point. All right. We've already, if you're wondering why I'm skipping through this, I've already gone through this. I don't know if it like triggers flags or something if we read things, so I'm just gonna hit all the points again. We got to the end of this little scene. And then we started having like issues, and oh man, dude, look at that. Look at that. Again. There's frame issues again. Why is that happening? That is actually wild. Wait a second. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Could it be this? Could it be, oh, wait. Wait, I might have found a potential reason why. Don't cover my face. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, wait. Dude. I think I know why. Oh my God, I might have fixed it. And it's no, if this works, oh, I hope this works. It would explain so much about why nobody's able to find the answer to this online. Yo. Okay. Let's try this. All right. Please work. Please let this work. No! I don't understand, dude. I don't get it. But he will do 20 squats. That's right, I still have to do squats. But I still haven't fixed my problem. No. Maybe it's the train. But that's just like a little bit of movement. I don't understand, dude. Is it my capture method? I'm using like the least intensive capture method. You know? I don't know. I have no idea. Like, we don't even have to do anything. We just literally go back into the window and it just has problems. No, don't listen to Zwire. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Oh, man. Let me see. Enjoy the lurk, Froggy. Oh, yeah, I've got a controller plugged in. Oh my God, did you guys come across the same thing at the same time? Wait. There's no way that's causing it. Wait, let me see. There's no way. It's okay. It's not your fault. I don't even think that like it's just weird. Like, so it's only stuttering on OBS, dude. Like, it's only OBS. The game looks great outside of it. Oh yeah, I did that, Kev. Yeah, I verified. So it's definitely with how it's interacting with this. This is not, I have to apologize, chat. This is not what I expected us to be doing today. I am so sorry. I would have had time to like prep and troubleshoot for this stuff ahead of time. If it were any other month. I already did. I already tried removing the controller. But it did not fix. All right, wait. We're just I am going to go back to square one with how we set this up. Cuz I had it running with window capture before, and we're just going to try a different capture method. Let's remove everything related to Night in the Woods. You have to reload the game without the controller? Oh. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I can definitely give that a shot. Okay. Let's get right here. Let's see. That's fine. That's fine. Y'all interested in getting into streaming? Be prepared to deal with this kind of stuff. All right, there we go. And then let's see if we can make this simple. Okay, we got it to appear. Now, dude, the drops are still nuts. It went down to 12. It's even worse. Man. All right, let's try the controller thing. Wacky, dude. Okay. Well, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if we start it back up without the controller. I have no idea why that would interact with it this way, but let's see. I'm open to all possibilities here. Found a thread on the OBS Reddit that disabling game mode in OBS could help out with the stream side of things, but you might get lower FPS. And I wasn't even using game mode before. I was using a window capture before. I'm trying game mode again right now. All right, we're in the game. We're running. Also, what are the controls with mouse and keyboard? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I actually don't know how to interact with anything on MNK. Wait a second. Okay, F is action button. Okay, all right. I'm watching the frames. I just had one frame drop. All right, it went down 1 frame from 60 to 59. Let's keep going. This isn't where we're having issues though. We started having issues when we saw the train. Down to 36 frames. I don't know. We're gonna run past this part and see if it continues. But like, dude. Yeah, that hasn't changed anything. So unplugging the controller didn't change anything. OBS been having issues with some other streamers too. Yeah, and so this is like a lot of the reason why I don't like playing games on PC as a streamer. I love the console streaming experience, dude. Oh my God, I love it. It's just an HDMI cord and that's it. I don't have to worry about any of this stuff, ever. It's so easy. But I thought, you know what, stuff's on sale. This game was 10 bucks. The other game that I'm gonna play is 5 bucks. I was like, I'll save some money. Also, like, my rig's pretty good. So like, I shouldn't have to worry about anything these games, surely. But here we are. Here we are. That train is a FPS killer, dude. It's terrible. But what if we leave that spot? It doesn't matter. We just went down to 28 frames. 21 frames. Oh my gosh. Wow, went back up to 40, but this is so weird, dude. PC got lazy from only needing to stream Chrono Trigger. Dude, this is... There's no way this is... Well, like, okay, I could see how it could be a little bit more intensive than Chrono Trigger. Dude, I've streamed Pal World, which is horribly optimized, by the way, and not run into this. Like, I've streamed much more intense games than this without this issue. This is so weird. You want me to reply how I'm doing because it's so far back in the chat? You can repost, son of a gun. Feel free to. Also, Madness, good to see you, buddy. I hope you're having a good day. I'm back. I'm worried about my subsidized rent for my apartment since I'm on a housing voucher program. Wait. What's got you worried about it, Max? Is there a potential like issue with it?
Hey!
Where you're at? I think you're not synced up on either. What? Synced up either on audio anymore? Wait, really? What is up with it? What is going on with this game? It'll look like I'm not synced up when frames drop like that because it'll have to like process to catch up. So like now it might be fine. Or am I wrong in that? Or is the audio still lagging? When frames are dropping like crazy, that'll happen though with the audio. Maybe it's just this game for your PC becoming lazy. I don't know why though. I don't know why. And the game's fine. Like it runs, the game itself, like when I'm looking at it on my other monitor is great. But there's something about the way it's interacting with OBS. What can we do? Night in the Woods took your GPU and shot it. The crazy thing is that it's not causing problems with my GPU. It's causing problems with my CPU. My CPU usage is just it's skyrocketing while trying to capture this game. All right, Reeps. Good luck, man. This is your moment, Jenny. You've been waiting for this for so long. Oh, man. Yeah, it got synced when you said it would, but the lag behind was so bad when I mentioned it. Oh, I bet. Oh, I bet. Thanks for mentioning it though, because it's good to know what else it might be affecting. All right, so this. Let me check some other things here. If we have, I'm like gonna just dig into some of OBS output settings itself. All right, we do have, no, we don't actually. So that's no problem. No issue with the rescaling. Our canvas is lined up. It's not full screen, it's in windowed. Yeah. Yeah, I always do everything in windowed because like full screen, your computer will optimize full screen programs. Like it'll optimize utilization for full screen programs. And so if you're using something like a capture software that's like, it requires more resources, it'll bottleneck really hard and they'll compete. So I learned about that pretty early on, or about avoiding that pretty early on. No, like all the basic stuff, that's not causing the issue. Let me, I have to think, because maybe there's something that's just interacting with it in a bad way. You know? What is this game doing? The slice of life game was OBS all along. The whole time. Yeah, dude. That is wacky. OBS does not like this game. At least not on my rig. All right. Let's dip that out. Try something else. If I'm not capturing the game and I'm just running it, what happens? It looks like oh, yeah. Yeah, what the heck, dude? Just the game running is causing a massive spike in OBS's CPU usage. I'm not even capturing it anymore. And it's causing a huge spike. Could this game actually be insanely technical? Can OBS be the new game we play this month? I sure wouldn't like that. Sure wouldn't like that. We just talk about how it likes to torture you randomly. It's very good at that. If there was anything that could, like, for sure cause a mental health check on me, it would be OBS being itself. Night in the Woods is free on PlayStation Plus if you have extra, which I do not. Yeah, dude, I don't know. What might be competing with it? It's an indie dev, right? I saw some others complain the files weren't optimized correctly. I mean, it could be something with that. Have to close that game down again. Man, I'm so bummed. And then everything went back to normal as soon as I closed it. What is with this game? I wish that it had like some different graphics settings. Like all you can really do is change its resolution. But I don't even know if that would actually fix what's happening. Well, that's a damn shame. This game looks so perfect for this month. I know. We were talking about it. Like this was top of list. We come up with a lot of other ideas for games too, but this was like, oh, I really want to play this one. Yeah, $20 for the game. I just spent $10 for it. It was on sale on Steam. Great deal. I was like, oh, it's a no-brainer. Let me see if Windows is doing anything that's causing me problems with this. Because that could be something to do with it. Let's see. No. There's some of this. I've like never even looked at this game mode stuff. I think every game on PC has to have an FPS setting. It sucks that this one doesn't. It's wacky to me. Doesn't look like. Doesn't look like game mode is kicking on, which kind of sucks because I was like, maybe that's it. But no dice. Okay. Yeah. Shoot, dude. Can you return it? I don't remember when you picked it up though. I haven't played it for more. Oh. I didn't even anticipate this, dude. I didn't even anticipate this. I was gonna say I haven't played it for more than 2 hours, so I can return it, but it's been on. It's mostly been on since the stream started, so I am past the 2-hour mark. Boy, I really shot myself in the foot with this one, didn't I? Oh, goodness. I mean, this game is not super old. Or is it? I actually don't know. I don't know when this game came out. And that O was filled with sadness. It's a sad O, dude. It's a sadness that I feel in my soul. Oh man, I really don't know what to do. I'm trying to look something up about it. It almost looks like it's time to to return it, but she gave it a real shot. Yeah. It's not the game's fault. Like I wouldn't want to return it on the merit of like the game being bad. I wonder if I can install it just to a different drive and see if that makes any difference at all. We'll see. I'm currently doing meh. I was talking down to myself a lot this morning, though. Someone was trying to help, but I'm quite stubborn. Why are you talking down about yourself, man? What's got you so glum, son of a gun? Wish I could help more, but I don't know my way around OBS and CPU stuff. Yeah, no, it's fine. You guys have been hugely helpful. It's so weird, man. It's just a weird issue. And I'm not really sure where to go next. I will try. Let me see if it's just, it might not, this might not have anything to do with it. Let me try moving it to a different drive real quick and see if that changes anything. Only other thing is, the thing I could think of is like, well, maybe, like I installed it onto an old drive, but I don't know. I've also, a couple of the other games that we've streamed on my PC have also been installed on that drive, so maybe that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's just bad through OBS. You're exactly right, Max. Because it doesn't make my CPU spike on its own. It makes OBS use more of my CPU when the game is on. Like I was looking at my my hardware monitor and OBS and trying to like notice what's happening when. And so that's the distinguishment to make. At first I thought the game was just spiking my CPU for some weird reason, but no. All right. I tried moving it, and maybe that, probably not, but maybe that will make a difference. Only other thing I want to look at is, let me take a look at my CPU usage preset, which I don't think I can change in the middle of a stream. Maybe I can though. Oh, I can. All right, let me try this. You didn't miss much, Lucid. A little bit of other troubleshooting steps that didn't quite work out. That's about it. Could you do display capture instead to present the game on OBS? Display capture hurts OBS resource usage whenever you're like playing a video game. That hurts it pretty bad. Like it'll use more CPU because it's trying to capture everything on the monitor instead of just like a specific program. Yeah. Son of a Gun says, because I don't think I'm doing good in life and I'm not some great person. I do what I'm supposed to do and that's it. That's interesting. Like, because I mean, the way you've described yourself before, I always thought that you had a pretty like high thought of yourself and like how you support other people and, you know, how you're able to impact people's lives around you. But, you know, I think that the idea that we're not great people makes me think about, well, what is your idea of a great person? Like, what does a great person look like? And how do you feel like you don't line up with what that image looks like? You know, like what's a great person look like to you? I think you're pretty cool, dude. Like just from our experiences with you here, I like what you talk about and what you bring to the table and how you end up like connecting with some of the topics that we'll talk about. Especially when it comes to talking about like support. You know, I always thought that you had like a good understanding of like what people look for in somebody who's like looking out for them, or how to like practice empathy. And to me, like those are traits from a great person. I mean, that's one of the things I think is great about, you know, good people. Games are literally supposed to be snappy in a sense. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that doesn't always work out that way, but certainly games like this. All right, I changed a couple of things. I moved, and this is a this is a classic mistake. I shouldn't have done two things to try and fix a problem at once. I moved the game to a different drive, and I changed my CPU preset on OBS, because I can actually change that even while we're live. So let's see. Let's see if this changed anything. And we will get... Okay. Didn't grab there. This has to be on this profile, which is really weird to me. Okay. Now. Let's see if anything changes. Night in the Woods making CPU implode. It's wacky, man. It's wacky. Okay. All right. Let me see. Try this again. Did this change anything? It sure doesn't look like it. Nope, it sure did. Damn, dude. I'm gonna have to do something else. I might just have to try to work on this between now and next stream and play something else for now. Oh, bummer. We did what we could for now. What am I being yelled at for? What's happening? Ads? Oh no! In a minute. All right. I'm gonna snooze. I'm gonna snooze them for a moment here. Okay, this has not worked very well. Apologies that we haven't been able to play this really cool game today. We're gonna redirect a little bit here. I'll figure out what I can do to fix this issue. Maybe I can find a solution to it before Wednesday. That was when we were gonna play it next. But let's sidebar here for a minute, and I want to catch up. Some people are sharing some things in chat. Some people are coming in. Kev Enix, what's going on, buddy? Welcome back, man. Dude, congratulations again on affiliate. Hell yeah. You did a great job, dude. I heard the news from Critical. He was telling me about it last night, dude. Proud of you. Let's see. Sonragun said, goodness, I don't really care too much about being known, but I just feel like I don't do much in the world and I take more than I give, like I'm a burden. So okay, I'm hearing you think that you take more from like other people than what you give to them? And that makes you feel like a burden. But I'm hearing you too, you said a couple times that you feel like, you know, you don't do much in the world. Like, if you did something, like what would you like to do in the world? Is there like an expectation that you're not meeting of yourself that maybe you've placed upon yourself? Because this sounds to me like I've had these kinds of thoughts before where I'm just like, dude, I suck. I suck and I don't do enough and other people do way more than me. And like, when I have those kinds of thoughts, a lot of times it's, I've been thinking about myself in contrast to how I view other people. Maybe I'm thinking about like how old I am and what I've done up to this point in my life. And maybe it doesn't quite line up with what I might have hoped that I had done by this age. Sometimes it's something like that. Sometimes I'm just depressed. Like literally sometimes that's just it. And that's like, part of my experience with bipolar where just stuff shifts in my brain and I'm depressed now because that's just where the chemicals are at, and it's not necessarily triggered by anything external. And when I'm depressed, I have a lot of those kinds of thoughts. So like there's different things in me that can cause these types of things that you're describing feeling right now. Like does any of that, I mean, the bipolar one might not line up because I don't know anything about your mental health state as far as like disabilities or anything like that are concerned. But like the other two things, like does any of that make any sense? It is considered stuff that I'm supposed to do. Okay. That's okay, homie. If anything, this is kind of a tutorial stream. Title it, How to Troubleshoot Into the Woods. Yeah, that's probably what I should have done. I don't know what else to do, though. I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, I'm not really sure what to solve for next. I really like the way that you look at things, though, Lucid. That's such a positive way to spin it. Turn it into an opportunity, man. 5:30 p.m. in California, so I need some dinner before it gets late. Oh, right on. What's on the menu today, Max? Part of the problem, I think, is I have an impossible standard for myself, which I will never reach. Okay, I mean, that's a great place to start. I can totally empathize with that. I mean, we talk about it sometimes, but I'm a perfectionist, I mean, just the most recent example of this is like where I'm having these problems with this game, right? I've had this whole plan for this month. This game was part of it. I'm thinking a lot of the things that I'm thinking right now is like, I should have done this before the stream. I should have done this yesterday. I should have done this last week. There's things that I should have done. And it's easy for me to like, okay, beat myself up for that, right? I have very high standards for myself. I expect myself to meet those standards in things that I feel like are my craft, streaming being one of them. If I'm not really reaching that standard, then it's really easy for me to just be like, why I could catastrophize it, right? Why would I even want to stream to begin with? Well, how could I think that I could do anything with this? Like, what a disaster, Easy to let those thoughts kind of spiral. And this is just an example. I have these types of thoughts about things that are more personal, and they hit harder with those. So, when you think about it, are there any things in your life like that you can think of example wise that you have? Here's my standard. Here's son of a gun standard for this aspect of life. I'm not meeting it. Can you think of anything? Like, I should be spending this much time with my friends, or I should have this type of job, or, I should have more passions that I pursue, things like that. Oh, my poor friend, says Kevin. I know those feelings. This is a big conversation, but the short of it is that the value of a human life may not be measured in quite the way you're putting yourself up to. If that were true, everyone not doing those things, or would everyone not doing those things just be total pieces of crap? Like, no, that wouldn't make sense. Your life's always changing and evolving, and you may be in a big transitional phase, almost like a cocoon, which everyone has, Perhaps the thing to do is become more grateful and appreciative of who you are, from smaller things to big things. Yeah, there's merit to what Kevin is saying here too. I agree, man. We're in ads right now. So I might, well, actually, son of a gun, you're subbed, so I'll continue. But let everybody know, actually, it should notify everybody that we're in ads. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the ads thing. Kev, I didn't get a blood test. I did get a TB test though. I'll be getting a blood work done actually here in a couple days. Funnily enough. I don't really have to keep this thing on. I don't know why. I just like it. I feel like when you get a TB test done, you've got like this little like blip under your skin. It's there for a couple of days, and I like feel like I would, if I saw it, I just want to mess with it. So I'm leaving this on so I don't. Anyway, keen eye, Kevin Nix, keen eye. But yeah, what Kevin was saying earlier, like I said, there's some merit in it. You know, like there's more that we're more than just what we don't do. And if other people were coming to us talking about like, oh, I'm like a burden because I don't do this, or I just take more or whatever, like you would have different thoughts towards them if they were coming to you with the same feelings than you might be having towards yourself right now. And I think that's true. I mean, I could definitely speak to that. Gratitude helps. I think that when we're feeling like this, though, it can be hard to find things to be grateful for because it doesn't feel like we deserve to feel good about something. You know, like we're down on ourselves and so we deserve bad things, you know? So it can be really hard to grasp onto that. I do think it's helpful to be able to do that, though, to be grateful and think about things that we appreciate. But it can be hard to see when we're kind of stuck in that dark place. Part of what you're supposed to do in life is always be better, says Son of a Gun. If I'm always improving, that just means I'm doing what's expected of me. I can never go beyond because I don't see anything beyond. Oh, that is interesting. Okay. All right. I'm starting to understand a little bit more about why you're feeling how you're feeling. Let me think about this. I mean, I feel so bad that I've stopped eating lunch because I don't see myself as worth getting it. Okay. Yeah, that's no good, man. So you recognize that it's mainly a you versus you thing, right? You just said that. Ghosty, I'm so sorry that I did not see your message earlier about snoozing the ads. I didn't even answer your question. That's my bad. I wasn't quite caught up. Vince is clearly fired for failing at loading the game. I'm done. I better quit. So frustrating, dude. Son of a Gun says, I have high standards for myself because I've always been told I'm a good person and that I'm smart and that I'm humble and other things. So I have this self need a bit to fill these expectations. And then I go beyond, or when I go beyond, I get more praise and I feel the need to do even more. Others love me, but I'm never happy with myself. The ironic thing is, currently in my psychology class, is that we saw some studies on how gratefulness can affect your life. Oh, cool. Talk about it. Talk about it, Son of a Gun. What are some of the benefits of gratitude? It's powerful, man. It's powerful. So it's an idea that in substance use recovery is kind of crucial to, like, especially in 12-step, right? They talk about attitude of gratitude. Mental health recovery is very similar. I mean, you know, you don't have to be addicted to a substance and trying to overcome that addiction in order to benefit from recovery practices. Mental health recovery is very connected, I think. Like the same principles can apply. Because if you think about it, we kind of get stuck in and addicted to these self-deprecating cycles that we go through. We believe them. You know, we get so used to having them, like, of course, where even when we're really smart and we're really aware, like Son of a Gun is, Like they're talking about all these things that they're aware of and why they might be feeling the way that they are. But like, it's just kind of, when you think about like, this is how I'm feeling, it's kind of like, oh, it's just a given. Of course. Like this is my lot in life. I just deal with this. And there can be some peace and self-acceptance of that, but there can also be some like really negative effects if like the way that you frame that is, I'm going to just feel this way because I deserve it. Right? If you're just thinking about it like from a neutral standpoint, I'm just a person who has these kinds of thoughts, who feels this way about myself sometimes, maybe a lot of times. The neutrality of that is different than I feel this way because I deserve to feel this way, because I'm actually no good. You know, the way that's framed, it changes everything. Which there's some freedom in that, right? That means that like we don't have to change the fact that we feel this way about ourselves, but we just need to reframe it. We need to look at the fact that we feel that way about ourselves a little differently, which is hard, but not as hard as getting rid of the feelings entirely, right? That's like, we don't decide to feel bad about ourselves. We respond to when we feel bad about ourselves, right? So some food for thought. But yeah, I remember you talking about the double standard where you feel like you must help others, but you won't let them help you. That's a complex thing to work on. So, all right, we've got a couple things here. We've got, oh, Eagle, what's up, dude? Welcome back, man. It's good to see you. I could write a book on this question. It's a good question, right? I mean, I'm not just tooting my own horn here, which that probably sounded really conceited. I'm sorry. I sometimes I'll put the questions out there and then I think about them too, and I'm just like, I like this. It's okay to like the things that you do, chat. All right, but I get it if you feel weird for it. That felt weird to say. Anyway, we're talking with Son of a Gun about some of the struggles that they're going through right now. Max is also having leftover pizzas. Dude, oh. Few leftovers are as good as pizza. Just saying. Let me think about this. So, you don't want to let other people help you. You'll outright refuse it, right? You feel like you have these really impossibly high standards for yourself, and you recognize that some of those high standards have come from receiving a lot of praise throughout your life for various aspects of yourself, whether it be your intelligence, whether it be your humble nature, or whether it be like the way that you treat people. Like if people are calling you a good person, like, that must come from the way you treat other people. So you have adopted a high standard for yourself because other people have expressed high opinions of you. And I think this is a key part here. Before you said any of that, you mentioned that you always need to improve, right? You always need to improve. Like, and not just you, but like people, right? People always need to improve and be better than what they were yesterday. And so this is actually a really common problem right now. It's not just you, man. This is affecting a lot of people. The self-improvement cycle is like destructive, man. Better every day sounds good on paper, Your motivational content creators will tell you stuff like that. Yeah, be your best self. Be better every day. Always improve. Make just a little bit of progress. Always be taking a step forward, right? There's merit in that when you can appreciate the progress that you're making. But when you feel like you're stuck in a race where maybe today you're tired, man. Maybe today you're tired. Whether it's physically tired, emotionally tired, we have a lot of things going on in our lives, right? Today looks different than yesterday. Maybe today our partner broke up with us. Maybe today we lost our job. Maybe today someone that we care about, someone that is close to us, is going through a difficult time. And because we're empathetic, we feel some of their pain. We wish that we could do something to help them. We wish that they didn't have to go through what they're going through. That automatically changes the quality of our day, right? We're having a harder time today, like, because circumstances are different. Yet we're still going to expect ourselves to improve every day, to be better than we were yesterday. Dude, I don't even have the same resources today that I did yesterday, right? I haven't recovered all those resources yet. How am I possibly expected to do better today than I did yesterday? Again, I think a lot of it has to do with the way that we frame it and the way that we look at it. But when we explain it like that, does that make sense? Do you start to see where it's like, that is not actually a really healthy way to live our life? Like, philosophically speaking, yeah, we try to be better versions of ourselves on a regular basis. But like, dude, you're not trying to pass a test. Understand that. No one's grading you, okay? No one's sitting here with a piece of paper and like recording all your metrics every day and being like, all right, Sadistic did not do this, or this today. They did this, but they did more than that yesterday, and they didn't do that today. They failed. No one's doing that. And we'll do that to ourselves, right? I'll do this to myself a lot. Like, I can't tell you how many days that I'll talk to Jen about how I'm feeling, where she's like, you did all this stuff today. I'm like, yeah, but it wasn't enough. I checked 4 things off my list today, but my list has 12 things on it. I didn't get those 12 things done, so I screwed today up, right? And that's a hard thing to break. That's a hard line of thinking to get out of. And so there's a couple of things here that have already come up in the chat. One, Kevin brought up the gratitude thing, right? And Sadistic also, you mentioned, you read about like how gratitude can improve some things, and I haven't gotten to that message yet. Eric Guitar, dude, what's up, man? Welcome to the fence. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Can we get some welcome commands in for Eric? Bring him right on over to our side of the fence, where they made the grass a little greener. I hope you're doing well today, buddy. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. We were planning on playing Night in the Woods today, but we're struggling. Our computer's struggling for some reason. It's not playing nice with OBS, so we're just chatting right now with one of the fencers about what they're going through. But we're trying to raise awareness for mental health this month, and so we're also supporting and talking about our own personal mental health with one another too. So if anything kind of stands out to you that you feel like you might have some thoughts on, feel free to share. Otherwise, feel free to just keep chilling. There's no requirements here, really. Just be nice to people. That's all, But yeah, so the gratitude thing, right? Because this already got brought up, I kind of want to touch on that. Looking at the things that we appreciate in a day or in our lives, it's not so simple to just do that and be like, oh, now we feel way better. Like now all of our problems are not problems anymore. Because I have an attitude of gratitude, because I appreciate the things that I have in my life. Like, that's not how that works, but it gets you thinking differently. Being able to practice gratitude and getting in a routine of trying to think about the things that you appreciate, the things that you're thankful for, on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't even have to be things that are happening today. That helps, but it could just be things in general that you're glad for. It will actually help that recollection process strengthen towards positive things, because a lot of you already know this just through living life, but our brains grab onto negativity. Like, it stands out to us. And there's a lot of different reasons why this might be. A couple of the ones that come to my mind are one, survival. Like, if you notice things that are different in a bad way, you can respond to them to protect yourself from danger or from things that hurt you or could potentially hurt you, right? So like just from a survival standpoint, your brain's kind of already designed to just like notice those things first, because then you can do something to protect yourself from it, right? The positive things, not necessarily, they're not like as crucial to survival in that way. Like, you know, you think about like cave people times, right? Like noticing how beautiful the clouds in the sky are not going to improve your odds of survival. They're not going to help you make sure you have something to eat, right? Noticing your like tribe mates' weird behavior and the fact that they just like ate more of your food than they were allotted might affect your rate of survival. So you want to do something about that. You're going to notice that kind of stuff, right? Maybe a weird example, but like that stuff automatically happens. We don't have to try to notice negative things. We do have to try to bring positive things to the front and center. But the reason why this idea of like gratitude ends up becoming important in this regard is that like if you're already predisposed to thinking about things from a negative standpoint and you're already like jumping on things like I don't do this enough, I don't meet my standards or my expectations for myself here, and here, right? And then you come to the conclusion that I might not actually be that good of a person because of those things. Even if you're applying maximum effort and trying to be your best self all the time, like you're just going to be stuck in that mentality. So that's happening more naturally just because you're naturally going to think of the things that you're not doing well enough so that you can do better. But if you pay attention to the things that you're grateful for, like actively pay attention to them. Like for example, I had this process in my journaling that I actually picked up on from my wife before we got married. And she was like, I just write 3 things that I'm grateful for in my journal every day. And I didn't do that before then. And I was like, that's a pretty cool idea. And so I wanted to kind of try and do it too. And, you know, thinking like, I'll think of some positive things to start my day and maybe that'll like, you know, make my days feel a bit better. And a few things happened that were really interesting. One, when I first started doing it, it was really hard, right? I could think of some easy things like I'm glad that my mom loves me. You know, I'm glad that I have this friend, you know, stuff like that. And sometimes it would be like day after day after day where I was writing those same things. And then I started thinking, what else am I grateful for though? There's got to be other things. And that was harder for me to do, but I would come up with more answers bit by bit. As time went on, it was way easier for me to recall things like, oh, like I'm pretty good at writing. I'm glad that I read a lot of books whenever I was growing up. I'm glad my mom taught me how to read at a young age. Whenever I'm feeling lonely, I have this friend that I can call. I'm really glad that, you know, we stuck by each other through some of these difficult times. And I'm really glad that like I can just call this guy kind of like at any time. You know, I'm really thankful to be able to have that kind of friend because not everybody has that kind of friend, right? But think about the whys of it. Like that stuff started coming more naturally as I intentionally thought about it. It just became easier to recall because you're accessing that part of your brain, your memory more, right? You're recalling those things more. And so when you do that often, I don't know if it like rewires your brain or what, but like it makes it to where that process of thinking about good things is snappier. It's more automatic. Not quite as automatic as the negative things that you think, right? Because that's a little bit deeper, I think. But you don't have to try as hard to do it. And so what that means is that when you have the negative thoughts, it's easier for you to counteract them with some of the positive ones, which is really important. It really adds a lot to your resilience and makes it easier for you to get through those periods of like huge, crippling self-deprecation that you just feel like it's just weighing you down, or like someone's just standing on your chest with it, you know? it gives you more strength to fight back against that. And I don't know, this, maybe I'm going on a bit much with the gratitude thing, but I feel like it's easy for people just to say, just be grateful and all your problems will be solved. And it's really not that simple. I think it's worth trying to dig into and explain a little bit, at least how that worked in my life, if not to illustrate why that works and what that process can kind of look like, and that it is not a instant gratification kind of thing. It is over and over and over again, repetition of trying to do this, and that it is difficult, you know. And also understanding that it doesn't actually take away the things that make you feel bad. It just gives you an answer for the question, you know. What do I do about how I feel? You know? Oh my gosh. You guys know I'm not doing all these squats at the same time, right? Like, I'm not going to do them all at the same time. I'm going to break these up. I guess I better do some of them now then. I'm like super duper behind on chat, by the way. So I'm sorry about that, y'all. Oh, thanks for the love, Eric. It's Manly. Eric Manly. What? My dude. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Hold on. I'm going to come back. I got to do these squats. All right. I've got like 2 cues banked up right now. I can't keep putting these off, but oh, dude, I'm so excited to see you. Dude. All right. Hold on. If you guys want to join me on some squats, which I encourage you to do, physical exercise, man, it does a lot to boost your endorphins. You know, you can dispel some of that negative energy you might be feeling if you're feeling some similar ways to Son of a Gun today, or if this conversation is bringing up some heavy things for you. Let's get moving. Let's try and process some of this. All right. All right. We need good processing music, right? I got you covered. Don't you worry. Let's go. 20 squats, chat. We're on track. There's 20, all right? We knocked 20 off the block. Okay? We still got 20 more to go. But rest periods are important, chat. Give yourself one if you need one. I know I need one. Whew, okay. Make sure you have your water as well. Stay hydrated. Okay? Yo, Rob Strange McNamara. What's up, dude? What's going on? It's good to see you, man. How are you doing today? How are you feeling? Oh God. Sorry. Give me a sec. You did all 40? Dude, Jin's a machine. Jin's a machine. You think you're better than me? You think you're better than me? She's actually better than me when it comes to exercise. 100%. 100%. All right. Mr. Manley. Oh, you're doing distance D&D with the group, but wanted to do the follow because I saw your Facebook post. Oh, bro, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. You're a light cleric at the moment, level 3. What? That's awesome. So is this a newer campaign then? You guys must only be like a session or 2 in, no? Ah, man. Okay, so I have to say, it was funny, like to read your message that said, love you, bro. I read that and I was like, I don't know this person. And then I saw, oh, it's Eric Manley. I was like, oh, I love you too. I'm so glad that you came in, especially in the midst of your D&D sesh, man. I hope that the session's going really well. This is our 5th session at the moment. Oh, dang. Okay, deeper than I thought. That's awesome, dude. Who's DMing it in your group? That's cool. Chat, Eric is a friend of mine that I got to meet through Jen's friends after moving out here to PA. We went to the other guitarist in my band, Joe. We went to one of his like house parties that he'll throw like once a year, and he invites all the friendos. They all come together, and I got to meet a lot of really cool people the first time that I went to one of those. And Eric was one of those people, he and his brother. Really, really awesome, man. I gotta say, dude, like, since coming to PA, like, I was really worried because I was gonna be like away from a lot of my friends. And I missed them a lot, but I think I worried that I wasn't gonna be able to make very good friends out here, that I was gonna really struggle with that. And I think had I not known, like if Jen wasn't the type of person that she was, known the type of people that she knows, I think I would have had a really hard time developing the new friendships like when I did. I think it would have taken me a lot longer. But you know, like you and your brother and like Derek and Nick and Nikki and like so many others, dude. I'm so glad that you all have gravitated around Joe over the years. And I know that you guys have like different cliques with each other and stuff like that too, but I'm so grateful to Joe that he like brings everybody together like that once a year. Because some of the coolest people I have ever met in my whole life, yourself included, have been in that house or in his house. And it's really cool to be able to, you know, have the opportunity to do that. It's like being here on the fence, but like in person, you know, like so many people end up coming here and have been here with us over the years where I'm just like, God dang, I'm so thankful to know these people from all over the world that, you know, have come in here for one reason or another to be supportive of other people or to validate how I feel or, you know, just to connect with me on a more human level than a lot of what you see online these days where everything's just kind of like memes and surface level quips. It's really hard to break through some of that. And I guess it's like that in person too. You know, it's hard to break through that in general, but yeah. I just want to say like, it's really cool. I look forward to seeing you every single time that I go anywhere that you happen to be at. I'm always like, oh dude, right on. I gotta go talk to Eric. Don't think that I ever would have expected to see you here though. Just saying it. This is a pleasant surprise indeed. Kevin Enoch said earlier, geez, that nail polish and nail paint is hella strong. Oh my God. Kev, are you swimming right now? Yeah, get some fresh air, dude. Someone help him. Turn on the fan, man. Don't huff the fumes. I bet them nails look fantastic though. All right. So we, my gosh, hold on. Before I dive back into anything, I just want to catch up on some stuff in chat. Max said earlier, I've learned that from a BTP class on the male role belief system, tackling men's violence and behaviors. Are you talking about the gratitude thing that we were discussing earlier? That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool that you took a class like that. What motivated you to do that, Max? Son of a Gun said, been doing okay in the music department, more Bear Ghost and another band called Demon Hunter. I feel like I've heard about Demon Hunter. I've never listened to them though. Maybe I'm thinking of anime. So I don't know. I mowed today while listening to Propaganda. Propaganda? That's all the exercise I need. You mowed today, Rob? Oh, dude, you're good. You're good for a couple days, man. Was it like a hand mower? Those things are such a pain in the butt, dude. Walking sumo squats. Jen, listen. You don't have to impress anybody, all right? We're already impressed. Our buddy Connor is DMing. Oh, cool, man. Does Connor usually DM your guys' groups? Or do you do a thing where you guys kind of rotate out? I know it's a little different for every group. Sleeveless Nick and Nikki One String. Dude. I love that that's one of his nicknames, man. It's so funny. I gotta tell you, dude, it's been quite a treat playing together with both of them. Nikki is interesting too. I never realized that I'm trying to think of how to phrase this because I don't want to do him any sort of disservice because I'm like so impressed with him and how talented he is. But when I first met him and he talked about like music and how long he's been playing and stuff like that, like I never would have expected that he wouldn't think that the stuff that he does is really that good. And I was like, oh my God, that's so relatable because like, I think everything I do sucks, you know, like a lot of times, especially in the creative department. And so it's been really interesting getting to work with him and play music together. Because it's just like, there's so many things that I see in him that remind me of me and on that front. And it has brought a lot into my life to maybe like reframe some of the thoughts that I'll have about myself. And also hopefully like he's getting something out of this process too, where like he's feeling good about the things that he is making, even if it's just a little bit more each time he does it. I feel very privileged to get to play in a band with him. I feel like I've just like grown a lot with these guys. But yeah, you learn a lot about people whenever like you start doing a project together, you know? It's fascinating. Yes, Vince, mandatory class from criminal court. Oh, okay. I got you. Well, it sounds like you got a lot out of it though. Dude, anger? Like it sounds to me like, and you don't have to dig into it. I'm not gonna like put you on the spot or anything for it. But I do detect that there's like some stories there, Max. But if I can help to just like relate a little bit and maybe take some of the like the spotlight off you on that. Dude, anger is a thing that so many men deal with. I was just talking to Jen about this a couple days ago where, you know, we were talking about like some of our dispositions and stuff like that. And we get into these deeper kind of conversations quite often, actually. But like, it kind of came up that, you know, I was talking about like, oh yeah, like my whole life I've struggled with anger and I've tried to, you know, deal with it in good ways. And she asked me if I still do. And I was like, oh God, yeah. You know, cause like, I'm not a very angry person as far as like my outward affect is concerned, but like, there are so many things on a daily basis that my first response to is anger. I'm just pissed off about something, you know? And then what'll happen is that like, I'll get sad about it because I'm like, I'll recognize that I'm mad and I'll be like, I shouldn't be mad about this, or I shouldn't be this mad about this. And then I'll beat myself up and be like, why am I a person that gets this mad about these things? And then I'm like down on myself and then I get sad, you know? And usually it's the sad part that comes across to other people more than the anger. But I struggled with anger growing up, like as a kid, and I used to get in a lot of fights because of it and a lot of trouble, had a lot of outbursts while I was growing up. And, you know, that stuff didn't pair very nicely with like the bipolar, because like that anger would be like so much more intense than the situation called for, you know? But in growing up, being in the mental health system and having a lot of different supports, like I learned how to manage it a bit better. And I had to learn in my 20s as well. I struggled hard in my 20s. I was in bad situations, not necessarily with bad people, but just like with people that we didn't benefit each other. You know, we brought out bad things in each other. So like anger was a lot more present and I had a lot more difficult of a time like managing and dealing with it. So I had to learn a lot of tools on how to do that. But I say all this because like we get ourselves into some hot water, some tough spots because of anger. And this happens to anybody. It's not just men, but I think men especially. We grow up being taught that anger is really the only acceptable negative, quote unquote, negative emotion that men are able to express. Nobody really likes being around a pissed off person, right? But society says men are angry, and so it's okay. We have permission to be angry, even if nobody likes it, right? But it's way more acceptable than being depressed and sad boy, right? People don't want to be around that even more. And you learn this, even if nobody says it outright, you pick up on this stuff. And so like all the things that we feel tend to get expressed as anger when you're a man. And it sucks, man. It sucks. It gives it a lot of like power over our lives. And it's kind of hard to figure out what to do about that, especially the older we get, you know, that stuff becomes ingrained. But yeah, we can find ourselves in some tough spots and tough situations because of it. And I've been there too, Max. I'm sorry that, you know, for whatever you've gone through in relation to that. Male role belief system. Mr. BS. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Male role belief system is the Mr. BS. I hate Mr. BS. Mr. BS sucks. Oh, dude, that's funny. We have two main DMs for Monday. I don't know if you know Marcus. He's also DMs for us on Monday. Oh, so you guys do rotate. That's really cool. And no, I don't know Marcus. I don't believe we had the pleasure of meeting. Instead of DM, I used to say I was the game operations director, said Rob. For real. All right, game operations director Rob is in the house. Let's see what he's got in store for us today. Got a really good quest for you all. Are you ready for adventure? Game operations director Rob has been cooking. Mephilis, what's going on, buddy? Welcome back to the Fins. How are you doing? We've been live almost 3 hours now. No, whoa, more than that. Almost 4 hours now. We ran into some technical difficulties with the game, so we haven't been playing games today. We were trying to play Night in the Woods, and it's really not agreeing with OBS. Like we were getting massive frame drops for some reason. Like the game itself isn't handling poorly on my computer, but like it's not playing nice with OBS. Like it's making OBS like spike in its CPU usage whenever the game is running. And I'm not really sure why. So we couldn't play that today. I'll have to fix it and figure out what's going on with that. We're going to try again on Wednesday. But no, we're just kind of hanging out and talking today. So welcome on in. Feel free to jump in anywhere. Been listening to a song called I Will Fail You by Demon Hunter. I feel like I already know what that song's about. There's also a song by them called I Am a Stone that I like. I am a stone and I will fail you. Is it metal music? It sounds like it would be metal music. Makes sense with the guitars behind you, said Max. Wait. Oh, when I was talking about band stuff? Yeah. I've been playing guitar since I was 14. I wouldn't say that I'm really great or anything like that. I mean, maybe intermediate. If I practiced more, I should practice more, to be honest. But I like doing so many different things, man. It's hard sometimes to balance my time between hobbies. But I love playing, man. I love playing guitar. Music's great. Light Fairy, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? Hello. Welcome back to the fence. Oh, man, I feel like we haven't got to catch up with you in a little while. What's going on? Eric, dude, have a great session, man. Thanks for saying hi. It was really nice to catch up with you for a bit. That's awesome, dude. Eric lives kind of far from me, so I don't have many opportunities to get to see him. I kind of count on getting to see him once a year at those parties I mentioned before, but that doesn't always happen, like, if people's plans don't line up. Sometimes, like last year, we weren't able to go. It's always nice to get to see him. Ghosty, you got 100K points. Oh, man. Max said, yes, I have anger issues. It's okay. It's about perspective and awareness to handle situations and to walk away from pointless situations. Yeah, that reminds me, man. It's like my grandpa always used to tell me, pick your battles. Pick your battles. Sometimes it's not worth being right. You know? That doesn't make you less right, but sometimes it doesn't matter that much. Sometimes being right gets you in trouble. It's about knowing when to pick your battles. I have a lot of violent thoughts personally, says Son of a Gun. Never about harming others I know, though. Okay, can we just like say something about that? The Son of a Gun brings something up that people don't talk about a lot. So there's two things. One, how many people read a message like that and think, uh-oh, like get kind of nervous? Second thing, how many people also think, oh, me too, but would not admit it, would not say it? You don't have to answer this question out loud. I get it. I'm not trying to put anybody in a weird position, but like, just think for yourself, okay? Like to yourself. How many of you would be like, who have also thought, oh yeah, me too? Listen, dude, we're in a society where we don't, we want to be cooperative. We want to work together, and like it's necessary that we do so. Conflict is something that's like so in our nature, though, and it's really hard to like shut that off sometimes, dude. You know what I mean? And anger fuels that kind of stuff. It fuels like the violent kind of tendencies in people. And I'm gonna say right now, I don't think that anybody who has had a violent thought or anybody that has violent thoughts is necessarily a violent person. All right? Don't punish yourself for thoughts that you have. Okay? It's part of the experience, man. It's part of the human experience. We all don't have like amazing thoughts all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I have personally had some thoughts that like when I had the thought and was like aware of it, I was like, oh my God, like what is wrong with me? Why did I think that? And dude, it's so common. It's so common. I think it's important to acknowledge that because we can dehumanize ourselves whenever we have some bad thoughts, and we tend to have bad thoughts when we're in bad places. And we tend to have more bad thoughts when we're being wronged, when there's injustice going on, you know, whether it's to ourselves or around us. We can have those kinds of thoughts. And to those of you American viewers right now, I mean, it's probably not hard to think of reasons that might elicit those kinds of thoughts right now, right? You know, like it's probably pretty more common than it has been in your past. And there's injustice happening, dude. Like that stuff comes up. I just think it's good to take a moment to acknowledge that. We read stuff like that sometimes and we jump to a conclusion that's like, oh no, you know, maybe I need to be like really concerned or really worried. And maybe, but also maybe not. Maybe it's normal. Maybe it's like common things that we all deal with, but just aren't talked about very often. I've been okay, said Mephiles. Have you thought about playing Sonic 06 or Sonic Unleashed? Mephiles, I love Sonic Unleashed. We played it a little bit a couple of months ago. It's my favorite Sonic game. I will probably go back to it at some point. More metal rock. Okay. I gotta check out Demon Hunter, man. It's a Christian band too? Oh, you know what? That makes sense. That tracks. I wouldn't have expected that. But that fits. I've had some thoughts about hurting people, said Mephiles, but I think it's because of my medicine. I'm talking good thing I'm going to get an evaluation on Wednesday. So, okay, when we have those kinds of thoughts, like if they get to a point where that's like concerning, right? And only you are going to know this. But like if you yourself are like, wow, this isn't good. You know, this is like concerning to me. It's good to talk to somebody about them, a professional, you know? It can be kind of hard to talk unless you have like somebody you really, really trust that like knows you and who you are and who your character is. It can be hard to talk about that kind of stuff with, you know, just your casual friend. I can see why that would be really scary. But always good to talk to a professional about that stuff. They can give you some insight, some objective insight, and like non-biased opinions on some things. And by non-biased, I mean like it's going to be unbiased in that they don't know you in the way that like your friends or family might know you, right? There's always going to be some bias based on like their background and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry to hear that you've had those kind of thoughts. They can be really distressing. They can be really distressing. Some of the worst times that I've been in my life have come along with some of those thoughts. And it's just like, dude, this is not the kind of person that I see myself as. This is not the kind of person that I want to be. Why am I having these kinds of thoughts? They indicate something, you know? Everybody worries that they indicate that like, oh, I'm actually like a psychopath or something, but that's not, don't let yourself jump to that conclusion. All right, be kind to yourselves. There's reasons for it, but it doesn't mean it's going to be that. It's kind of like when you Google something and you have like, you're like, oh, I've got this like physical ailment. I'm dealing with this symptom. And when you Google it, it's like almost always like it could be cancer. And you're like, oh my God. Like, it's probably not. It is one possibility, but it's probably not the worst possibility, you know? But it's easy for us to jump to that conclusion. Be kind to yourselves, guys. Go talk to somebody who can actually give you some more insight on that stuff if that's ever happening to you. And if that is happening to you, don't assume that like you're a whole different person now because of it. All right. Just try to figure out where it's coming from, and you know, you can always do something about it. I think we don't choose to think the things that we think. Think about that. A lot of think, I know, but we don't choose to think the things that we think. You can choose to redirect thought, but like the thoughts that just come to you, like you didn't decide that. You know what I mean? I think we all think crazy stuff, said Rob. As long as we don't act on them, it's all good. Yeah. Huge props to what Rob is saying there. Dude, people are wild. All right? We are capable of impossible things. Why? Because we can imagine it. And a lot of times when we talk about that kind of stuff, we think of like the amazing potential for good that we have. But we have amazing potential, period. All right? Human beings have amazing potential. It could be for good or for bad things. We can dream up anything. It's nuts. Yo, hello, said Light Fairy. I wanted to wait a bit to fill you in since I'm loving this conversation about anger. It has been a minute. Well, thank you for being considerate, Light Fairy. You didn't even have to, but I appreciate that very much. So happy to be back. Honestly, at a pretty good place in life, managing my mental health and letting myself be creative and have fun. Right on. I love to hear that. Work is all right. Self-care could be better, but all in all, life, my friends, and my partner are really lovely. What's new with you? Oh, I love that. I love to hear all of that, Light Fairy. Listen, I know that even the part of the self-care could be better. Like, I know that that's an area you wish to improve. Me too. Self-care is hard. There's a lot that goes into it. But it sounds to me like you have focused on a lot of, like bringing a lot of good things into your life right now and putting your energy in the places that you're reaping some benefit from. And that makes me really happy. That makes me really happy. Especially that you can say you're managing your mental health and letting yourself be like more creative and tapping into that stuff. That could be hard, man. That could be really tough. Good for you. Man, I'm so glad to hear about this. What kind of creativity have you been partaking in, if you don't mind me asking? I'm trying to work on my self-care too, man. I mentioned it earlier. I really need to get some more exercise. I don't get enough of that. That's been on the to-do list of things to start working into my routine. I'll get there. Yeah, I've been doing pretty good too. I got a new job. I'm actually doing my orientation for that in about a week. And then I should be starting up the actual work the week after that. Jen and I are looking for a new place. We were looking for a house for a little while. We've kind of shifted gears. We realized that's not really in the cards at this time, and maybe we'll try again next year. But we're kind of unsatisfied with our current living situation, so it's a good thing that we're looking for somewhere new. I'm very excited about that. I don't know if I got to tell you. We haven't caught up in such a long time. I don't know if you know about this, but like I'm in a band now, and we've been playing together for about a year now. We released a song like in November, and we're working on our second release now. It's actually we got it over to a producer, and they're going to be mixing it and putting that together. So hopefully in the next couple of months we'll have another one out. That's really cool. I've been very excited about that. Otherwise, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I guess I could talk about, but I've been feeling better than this time last year. I was feeling terrible, just awful. I'm feeling so much better this year around this, obviously around this time, but I'm doing better things for my mental health. I've been nurturing my relationships, and I've learned a lot in this last year about how to look at what I have and what I'm doing versus what I don't and what I'm not. You know what I mean? There's still progress to be made. I could still definitely stand to appreciate my victories a bit more and not focus so much on the not even losses, literally just lack of victories. Sometimes I can be like, oh, I didn't do these things, so the whatever I did do today, that's moot because it wasn't enough. I could fall into that trap still, and that's something I'm still working on. But I've been a lot better at noticing the things that I am doing comparatively to this time last year, and I'm glad for that. I'm real grateful for it. So keep working on it. But you know, overall, I think I'm in a pretty good place mentally. And usually when I'm in a pretty good place mentally, I'm doing better in my life in general. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of long-winded answer. I'm sorry, but but yeah, things are going well. Now, Sonic Adventure 2 fence. Wait, what? Sonic Adventure 2? I love Sonic Adventure 2. Is that what you were talking about? I don't know when I would go back to play that. I love that game though. Seems well written in the stars that we had this great conversation instead of Night in the Woods today. You know what? It's great, right? I don't know. Night in the Woods is gonna be awesome too. I'm convinced that we're gonna figure out how to make that work. But you're right, Kev. That's a good way to look at it. Maybe it just wasn't in the cards tonight because we needed to have this convo. You know? I don't know about y'all, but I have definitely been appreciating this discussion. It's making me think about some things. Sometimes, I don't know, you guys ever find yourselves in that position where like other people bring things up and while you're talking about it, you catch yourself saying things that you're like, oh yeah, like I needed to hear that, or I needed to be thinking about this because this applies to me too. You ever have that happen to you? Does that ever happen to you? No, that's what's happening to me today. It's good, man. I'm gonna snooze these ads, guys. I'm convinced too that game looked cool. Dude, I'm so excited to play Night in the Woods. I can't stress that enough. It looks so amazing. But we'll take another crack at it on a Wednesday. I'll take some time tomorrow too to test out Sea of Solitude. Make sure we don't run into the same issue. And I tell you what, dudes, if all else fails, and like we are like totally boned on some of these games, then I'll just bite the bullet and find a different way to play them, or pick another game off of our curated list that we came up with as keepers. But we'll be getting into some gaming mental health action this month, I promise. Have you played Oris and Neva? Oh, Gree, sorry. Gree and Neva. I've played Gree, haven't played Neva. I heard really good things about Neva. It won some awards last year, right? Gree is gorgeous. I wish I liked playing the game more. I tried. I had about 3 sessions with it, and then I don't know. I wasn't really enjoying the gameplay aspect of it, which I was really bummed about because I'd heard nothing but good things about Gree, and it was having an impact on me. Like it was really good. But I don't know. I was trying to play it last summer. I was staying at my mom's, and I was just kind of going through some of the PS4 library because I gave them my PS4 and my account so they could just like play whatever I owned. And so I was like, oh, you know, I've been meaning to play this for a while. I'll give it a shot. And I just couldn't get through all of it. It's a me thing, honestly. Oh, and Rob, thanks for the congratulations, dude. Heck yeah. I appreciate it, man. Are you open to play a new game called Clair Obscur Expedition 33? Oh my god, Max. Like, yes? Yes and yes. Yes, we're absolutely going to play Clair Expedition or Clair Obscur Expedition 33. That's the game that we're starting next month. We're playing that game next month. I'm so excited for that game. New band with new song, amazing. New place, new job, nurturing relationships. Sounds amazing, my dude. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, Fairy. Oof, I could get more exercise too. We'll get to it one day. Baby steps. That's right. That's right. We gotta look at the steps that we are taking right now, because we're getting better at things that we've wanted to get better at. And that's what matters. You know? There's a saying in mental health recovery, which it goes recovery is not linear. Some people say recovery is non-linear, but same thing. And what that means is when we're getting better, when we're working on, we talked about self-improvement earlier and how like we can get toxic with our view of self-improvement, that we always have to be better. But when we frame it the right way, like sometimes like when we're trying to be better and trying to improve on things that are making us miserable, we have a couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks or, even like a couple months where like we're doing good. We're on the right track with these things. And then we hit a point, maybe there's things going on in our life that are exceptional. Maybe we're just struggling more at this point in our lives than we were the last couple of months or a couple of days or however long where we were making that progress. And it feels like we hit a wall. Or sometimes it even feels like we take steps backwards. Recovery is non-linear, dude. We get better and then we take detours. And then sometimes we have to retrace some steps. But we're always actually moving forward. As long as we don't give up and we keep working at it, We could take those 3-4 steps back if it means that down the road, we're going to take 10 to 20 steps forward. Sometimes that's just what it looks like. I think that applies here too. We think about all the things we want to get better at. We need to exercise more. We need to practice self-care better. We need to get more sleep. If you can look at all of that list and you're making progress on any of them at all, dude, cool. Because you're doing better on that than you were before. Highlight that. Celebrate it, count it as a win. Let it motivate you to try and keep moving. It's important, man. It's important so that we can keep going forward, but also so that we can appreciate what we're doing. We had somebody talking earlier in the chat about how they have such high expectations of themselves and that they feel like they're never reaching them. They feel like, they received all this praise throughout their lives and people have these high expectations of them, or maybe just saw them like up on this pedestal that now they're constantly trying to reach because they keep pushing the pedestal higher every time they get better. So it's like constantly like it's always up there, and how it's hard to see yourself as good or worthwhile when you're constantly reaching for something that you're not hitting. Being able to like count your victories and celebrate your wins. It helps you to realize that like you're doing a good job and you're doing good for yourself and you have things to feel good about yourself for. Sometimes it's just about like recognizing that and then looking back and being like, what am I capable of now that I wasn't before? There's a lot of things. We can all look back and there's a lot of things that we're able to do now that we weren't able to do before. Even if it's just thinking about things differently. You know what I mean? I was talking about Sonic Unleashed, Max. You're right. That's what I thought you meant. But I guess you were talking about that and Adventure 2, right? At least my sadness helped others, helping even when I'm down, I guess, said son of a gun. Listen, man, I gotta tell you, like, and this is good, just food for thought. When I don't know how this happens, but it happens to me almost every time. If I am down and I'm like just in the dumps, dude, somehow if I put myself around other people, and usually this happens online, I'll go and I like to, like on social media, I like to browse and see, if people are having a tough day or something like that, I like to kind of give them some encouragement. And somehow I always end up doing this more when I'm really low. And I don't know, when you're really low and you think I'm no good to nobody, I'm troubling everybody, I should keep to myself, because like then at least other people wouldn't have to deal with me making things harder on them, right? Those thoughts are probably really familiar. I have those all the time. On those days when I decide to like, just kind of like see what's going on with other people, I don't know about you, but I feel like compelled to try and like say something beneficial to them. Let them know, at the very least, let them know that like they're seen. Somebody is reading it. It gives a damn. That they're not like alone in the thought or in the feeling, and that's something that I don't think I'm capable of 100% of the time when I'm feeling down on myself, because obviously I'm no good to anybody. So how could I possibly see that, that I could reach out to a person? I don't know if that makes sense. Clearly I'm capable of it, but like, I don't know. It's like the framing, you know what I mean? Sometimes when I reach out to people when I'm feeling like that, they'll reply. And sometimes they'll reply in a way that like we'll have a conversation. And somehow, even if there's a reply, or even if there's just a like and they saw it or whatever, it makes me think that like, okay, I can still do something good, right? I don't need to like I don't know. I don't need to like make it a bigger moment than it is, I guess. I don't need to like toot my own horn. I don't need to tell people about it. I don't need to do that. Which sounds ironic because I'm telling you guys about it now, but like it's to illustrate this point that like I always have the thought in those moments where I'm like, oh, I was wrong. The thought that I'm no good to anybody was objectively incorrect. And that always makes me think about what else am I thinking about myself that's wrong? Which sounds like it would be somewhat self-deprecating. And I guess everybody might interpret this differently. So maybe this isn't actually like something that would be beneficial for you. But like maybe it would be. But for me, that's empowering, because I could be like, damn, I was so sure that I'm the worst. But this is proof that I'm not. So maybe I'm wrong about these other things that I'm thinking about too. And in those moments, I'm like I'm always like, I'm so glad to be wrong. I hate being wrong, guys. I hate it. But like, everybody's wrong. Everybody has things they're wrong about. This is one of those things where I'm really grateful to be wrong. I should say I'm grateful to have the realization that I'm wrong. Because it can get me thinking differently. And sometimes that's really what I need, is to be thinking differently. I got to get out of that spiral, But yeah, I don't know. This stuff's not simple, man. This stuff's not easy. I really do hope that you get through this, son of a gun. And again, I just want to remind you that like you're a much better person than you think. The way that you're feeling about yourself right now, and the way that you feel whenever you have these points where you're just like really down on yourself, like me telling you this is not going to convince you. I know that. I know that because other people telling me about things that I'm good at, or things that are good about me when I'm feeling the way you're feeling, just tend to bounce off of me, dude. It's uncanny. And it's got to be frustrating to everybody who tries to be there for me in those moments. But I say that because I know that what I'm saying is going to bounce off of you probably too. But it maybe, if anything sticks at all, you're not going to realize it till later. But what I want you to know is that other people see goodness in you. It's not just me. Other people in the chat have said things that they appreciate about you. That does not mean you have to live up to an impossible standard. That does not mean that you're not allowed to be less than good. I'm positive that there are some things that probably suck about you. And I say that with love, okay? Because there are things that suck about me. There's just stuff that sucks about us. And there's power in that, man. Nobody has to be perfect. Nobody has to be good all the time. All right? And it's unfair of us to expect ourselves to be. So I just want you to know that you're allowed to be less than perfect. And I see a lot of people, myself included, see good things in you, good things about you. I don't think that you're just a burden on people. And there's probably people in your life who would totally let you know that too, if you express to them how you felt. And I know that's a hard thing to do, and I know that's a thing that you say you refuse to do. I'll just say this, man, everything's temporary. There are things that I said I would never do that I have done. And some of those good things, some of those not so good things, but there are things that I believed about myself to be 100% true, infallibly so, that I do not believe about myself today. And I guess I'm saying things can change. Things don't have to stay the way that they are right now. But it will be you who figures that out. It'll be you who sees things the way that you see things in a way that allows for some of that stuff to shift. And nobody's going to be able to force that or change that for you, because nobody has the power that you do over this type of stuff. So give yourself some time, man, you know? And in the meantime, try not to be so hard on yourself. And if you are, don't let that compound and beat yourself up for being so hard on yourself. 'Cause you're already having a hard time, you know? And that's not your fault. Neva plays very similarly, so maybe not your thing, but it made me cry 3 times. I'm definitely going to give Neva a try. Definitely want to give Neva a try. Is it Neva? Neva? Couldn't get into Gree either, said Kevin. Really? Hey! Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just platformers in general I typically don't get into, which is why I've been nervous about Celeste, but watching people play Celeste, it seems like it's fast-paced enough in the platforming aspect that I could get into it. The music and the story alone, though, like I want to see it through just for that, you know? Which I really hope I don't run into the same thing with that I did with Gree. Because Gree, the story and the music's incredible. I'll be watching for spoilers like a hawk. Thanks, Ghosty. Yeah, dude, I can't wait to play Expedition 33. Since I'm seeing other games get mentioned, obligatory shill for To the Moon. What kind of game is To the Moon? I don't think I've looked at that. Is there a playlist of your Sonic Unleashed playthrough? I didn't play through the whole game. I only did one stream of it. So unfortunately not Mephiles. Plateau struggles. All right. We're getting ready to go into an ad break, everybody. It's very late, actually. We'll see what we're gonna do when we come back. This conversation has gone great. I hope that people are benefiting from it. We'll have a little bit more before we wrap up for the night, but I'll see you guys right after the break. Keep your heads up and your heart strong. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, can you guys hear the volume on the game? Give me a yay or a nay, please. Not war. War never. Phil! No! No! I have to run. How do, Oh, good God. I forgot how to play. Hold on. Robert, you know my curse, my pain, my grief, my woe? Carlyle, of you, I know you seek a larger hoe, to plow, fair maid, and sow a seed to grow. But lack do ye a mighty horn and mast, with which to guide a maid to bed and fast. Oh, Robert got hit with the small PP jokes. Oh no. Well, he got wrecked. By the rules of the internet, Robert is wrecked.
I have to smash this. I have to smash this bridge. Calm down, calm down, calm down. And I gotta smash this log, okay?
Okay, I didn't actually mean to do it that time.
I know. I believe that. Okay, now you're good. Can you drop that now?
Okay, oh god.
Oh,
Didn't even clip that. Oh! Oh!
You rolled over me.
Oh no!
I got audio ads, but I'm still seeing the stream. Can you see this? Meanwhile, all the subs are like, Vince, what are you doing? Like, we can hear you still. But some people can't. Whoa. Twitch has always been a strange place.
I almost poo-pooed in my non-existent pants.
I almost Koopoed in my non-existent pants. It's wild. Shadowheart was like over here, and she was like, dang, I don't know what's going on in there. They're probably having too good a time. I better stare out here and ponder my past and wonder, what on earth am I ever gonna do if I find out that my whole life is a lie? And then Karlak was over here like, damn, Problems, your booty fine. It's so good. I don't wish that I had a booty like that. And Problems was like, I know. Isn't it fantastic? I'm gonna go over here and sniff these flowers because, I don't know, they're really pretty and colorful. And then Will was like, but you know, I actually wonder what's going on in there. Maybe they won't notice if I just open this door.
Another muffled cry. The two inside are still in the throes of passion.
Uh-oh.
What the hell are you doing?
Well, Will, you've done it now. How do you have such intellectual conversation while sleep talking? This is the magic kingdom of Zeal, where dreams can be made reality. But nothing in this world comes free. There is always a price to be paid. Woohoo! Okay, he's gone. What the hell? Welcome back, everybody. Dude, Chrono Trigger was such a fun time. I had so much fun with that game. All right, am I seeing this right? Are people going to bed? Hold on. Let me scroll a minute. Oh, Jen's going to bed. Okay. Jen, thank you for all your support today. I really, 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 really appreciate it. I hope that you get some good rest. I am gonna lower the volume. You heard it, chat. We gotta lower the volume. All right. If I get too animated, yell at me. Okay. But don't actually yell at me. I'm sensitive. Now, Jen, get some good rest. I appreciate you. Jenny, you as well. Thanks for your support today. I hope that you get some good rest as well. You keep your head up and your heart strong. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll actually get to get some games in. I believe it. Just gotta stay positive, you know? We'll figure it out. To the Moon is a story game that's around 5 hours long. Best to do in a single sitting, in my opinion. Oh, okay. 5 hours long, man. I wouldn't be able to do that in a single stream. That's not accounting for fence rambles and conversations that'll come up. I am again still here. Good, man. Good. It's been good to spend some time with you today. I'm seriously so happy to tune in today, said Light Fairy. I needed this, and it's such a lovely community. I'm on the Discord now, and I'm excited to explore it. I'll see you all soon. Light Fairy, you're in the Discord? All right. That's what's up. I look forward to chatting with you there. Heck yeah. Yeah, we hang out there fairly regularly. We haven't been playing too many games recently. I mean, I haven't. I don't. Maybe you guys have been when I haven't been around or something. But we play games together there. We got a Minecraft server. If you're ever interested in joining that, let us know. And we do like movie nights, and we're actually. I think we've got a poll up for our next trivia night, which is next week. So if you like trivia, then you can go and vote on the poll on what trivia topic you'd like to see. We do lots of stuff there. But yeah, I'm so glad that you're in there. It'll be awesome to keep up with you. And if you ever need anything, you have any questions or anything like that, please reach out to us. It's been great catching up. So we're here for Mental Health Awareness Month, chat. And this took a different turn, a different direction than we had planned for today. Originally, we had planned to play Night in the Woods, and we were going to sort of explore that game. It's a game that has a lot of mental health themes, and we were going to talk about those in more detail tomorrow. Obviously, we're not going to be able to talk about those in more detail tomorrow because we didn't get to play Night in the Woods because we had a lot of technical difficulties on that. So I think that we will still explore some of the things that we talked about today. And maybe like after thinking and sleeping on it, have a bit of a discussion about that before we play Sea of Solitude tomorrow. We will give Night in the Woods another shot on Wednesday. I'm going to do some testing between now and then to see how to get that game running and playing nicer with OBS, because we really just struggled with that today. And I'm not entirely sure right now as to what the issue was, but either I will solve it or I'll find an alternative method of addressing the issue so we can get it running. But yeah, not yet, son of a gun. I'm just kind of giving some updates. Max said, I'm wrong 100% all the time, is what I tell myself. However, if I research it, I can find a truth in it to make myself seem right about to others, if that makes sense. So hold on, let me reread this. Let me see. So I just want to make sure that I'm understanding this. I'm wrong 100% all the time is what I tell myself. So, okay, that's a thought. So you believe that you're wrong all the time. However, if I research it, I can find truth in it. Are you saying, like, is the it in this researching that you are incorrect? Or what? I feel like I'm missing a piece of this. However, if I research it, I can find truth in it to make myself seem right about it to others, if that makes sense. So whatever the topic is, you can research enough on to support what your stance is on that topic, or what you are expressing to others that you know about on that topic. Is that what you're talking about? Apologies if I'm not understanding. By the way, I've been diagnosed with BPD, borderline personality disorder. So I'm there when it comes to mental health month. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay, let me think real quick. Oh, you're good, son of a gun. You're good. Hey, Vince, hope all is well. Hey, what's up, Vin? Good to see you. Yeah, things are going good. It's really nice to see you. We were trying to play Night in the Woods today, dude, and I was really excited about it, but every time we booted it up, it like caused OBS to just skyrocket in its CPU usage, and so I was like dropping crazy frames. I can't really figure out why. So we did some troubleshooting for like a good 45 minutes, and then I was like, all right, we have to switch gears. So that was kind of a bummer, but no, otherwise things are going pretty good. I got a new job. I'm starting that up here in about a week and a half. I went to the doctor today. That was great. Like, love that. No, but it's routine stuff. Oh, I got a shot. I got a happy little TB test. It's always fun. Dude, the nurse was like so sweet about it today too. She's like, I hate giving these. And I was like, what, shots? She's like, no, specifically like the TB shots. And I was like, oh, why? And she's like, well, because like the way you have to administer them is different. And so I'm not gonna, anybody got weird things about needles and stuff like that, I'm not gonna trigger y'all. But essentially, she had to like, she needed more finesse for the TB shot than she would like a traditional shot. And so she was like so worried about like hurting me or something like that, which she didn't. She honestly, I barely felt what she was doing, and it ended up being really easy. So I made sure to tell her that. But she was like, I hate them. I hate doing this. Like she kept apologizing while she was trying to do it too. And I was like, you're fine. You're doing great. Like, but she's like, yeah, I've had people who like don't react very well to this before. And, so, I just, anytime I have to do anything in this job where like, I feel like I could be hurting somebody, like I just don't like it. I was like, oh, you strike me as someone who's probably really empathetic to others' experience. And she was like, yeah. She's telling me this story about, some stuff with, IVF and, other patients that have experienced some things with that, and like what the realities of it are for some people. And I was like, wow, this is actually kind of cool that we like got to talk about this. But yeah, it was good, man. It was good. The last like several times I've gone into the doctor, I've just been like really down on those days for some reason. So I really haven't felt like I have been able to build any rapport with like both my doctor or the nurse, and she's usually the nurse that I get whenever I go in. And I got to kind of chat with both of them today, and so that was nice. I figured, I want to I don't need to be like friends with my professional supports, but I want to have like positive interactions with them, I don't know. I hate being in the doctor's office, so usually I'm just ready to get out of there. But today is a little different. Anyway, super random story, but I'm doing good. The long and short of it is things are good. I think the idea is assuming that you're wrong until you find evidence to back it up, says Eagle. Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was picking up on from what Max was saying too. I'm trying to make sure. Oh, thanks, Vin. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think the job's gonna be good. Okay, Max says, it's what I'm seeing, and seeing is believing. Tetanus shot hurts more than anything. Really? The way she was talking about it, she's like, this is gonna hurt. And I was like, okay. Like, trying to steel myself for it. I was like doing my breathing exercises and like finding my zen place and everything like that. I don't like needles. But like I've learned to tolerate them throughout my life, because I've just realized they're an inevitability. But no, she did it, and it like, I mean, I felt it, but it like I barely felt it. You know what I mean? So either she was really good at applying it, or I'm not as sensitive as I thought, or I don't know. But it ended up being pretty straightforward. Yeah. So okay. So Max, you said you got borderline personality disorder, and then you're saying that seeing is believing, like as far as what you're seeing is concerned, that applies to me being wrong 100% of the time, and that if I research, I can find truth in it to make myself seem right about it to others, if that makes sense. Oh, I see. I got it. I understand what you're saying, and it is. I think that's what Eagle was saying too. If you believe that you're wrong about something, which you do generally, you will look up information to back up the idea that you are wrong. Is that right? That honestly makes sense. It might sound wild to some people who are like, why would you do that? Right? Like, why would you try to prove that you are wrong about things? But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, to me, this comes down to like black and white thinking, which is really common with people who struggle with borderline personality disorder. I got a good friend who still lives in Albuquerque, actually, who, ever since I've known him, man, he has a hard time with that. And if he, like Max was saying, like seeing is believing, and like what people see, like something just in general, what people see is their truth, right? How people think, what they believe, how they interpret things, whether or not it's objectively correct, it is their reality. Does that make sense? Like, okay. I'm just gonna throw a really wild, stupid example out there. If I believe that grass is purple, all right? If I believe that grass is purple for me. It doesn't matter if it's actually green or yellow or orange or whatever, right? Objectively speaking, grass is those other colors, right? If you're having a conversation with me and I believe that it's purple, when I look at grass, it's purple, dude. It's freaking purple. You cannot tell me that it's not purple. You can give me evidence, but I believe it's purple. It's purple, dude. I'm not even, we can get into the colorblind thing and we can try to apply logic to it. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter for this conversation. All right. If I believe it's purple, and you are not going to tell me that it's not unless you can change my belief. Right? I have to believe differently, or that reality is what it is. Okay? It's a simple idea. If you need a good real world example of how that works, you may or may not have already met some of these folks, but have you ever met anybody that believes the earth is flat? It's not. There's so many pieces of evidence to point to why it's not. Good luck convincing those folks that it's not. They believe it, dude. It's the same way if you've ever had faith in anything, you know? And we could talk about spiritual faith. We can talk about belief in a person. But if you had faith of any kind, if you've ever believed in anything, when you're presented with the idea that that is not the way things are, that is not true, you resist it, right? Even if you're presented with sound logic. you'll resist it because it goes against the version of reality that you know, right? And there's a lot of pieces that come in with that. The reason I'm pointing this out, my baby's mother thinks the earth is flat. Oh no, that is unfortunate, dude. Kevin, no, it's get out of here, man. But it's important to understand this concept. And I think it doesn't just apply to borderline personality disorder. The concept of black and white thinking, I think, plays into this a lot, though, which, again, is really common with folks who live with borderline personality disorder. So I'm saying this and bringing this idea up because what Max is saying is that they believe that they're wrong. They believe that they're wrong about things. They believe that they're wrong about things so much too that they will go to great lengths to prove how wrong that they are, even if other people might be presenting evidence that Max is not wrong about something, right? It seems like something that's like, why would somebody do that? There's so much more to it than just believing you're wrong. You know, so with borderline personality disorder, from what I understand it through my friend, and again, I'm no expert on this. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Do your research, okay? Like, don't walk out of here and be like, Finn said this, so this must be how it is. There's going to be holes in what I'm saying, probably, okay? From my experience with my friend who lives with borderline personality disorder, he has called me up and been like, dude, I thought that like you hated me. And we've kind of even like argued about it before. Well, like you didn't support this, or like, you know, I used to be in a band with him. You weren't you left the band because you like didn't like me or what I did or how I ran things, or like you know, you had something out for me. And I'm like, no, dude, it's never that. It's like, you lied to me while you were in the band. Like, you didn't even want to be in the band. I'm like, I really wanted to be in the band, you know? And for the record, like, when we were in a band together, I really enjoyed the time that we spent. We did cool things. We took band photos. We had lots of practice. Like, we auditioned different members. We played cool music. We actually did shows for the first time in my whole life. Like, it was a great experience. There were some things that, like, I didn't like about it, but there was a lot that I did. I was at a part in my life where so much was going on that I couldn't maintain the pressure of the realities of what it meant to be in a band. You know, I couldn't uphold obligations and expectations that I needed to uphold to be in a band. You know, like, people were relying on me for things, and I was not reliable at that time in my life. So I stepped back. But he was convinced that it was either out of spite for him, or that you know, I was being dishonest about something, and it affected our friendship for a while. And he'd call me up about stuff like this, or we wouldn't talk in a while, and you know, I'd let him know that I'd been thinking about him, and that you know, how much I valued him as a friend, and then he'd tell me about like all these thoughts that he had during the time that we hadn't talked about, like why I did not like him. And these were facts for him. Like, these are thoughts that he had. These are truths that he was living. He was going through his day-to-day life believing Chris does not like me, you know? And that can get really powerful. And this is just an example that I'm sharing, like, of how it has showed up, like, in our friendship. There are times where, like, there's conflict because of that. And I'm not blaming him or anything like that. I hope it doesn't sound like I am. Honestly, I feel for him. Like, dude, like, so part of having bipolar disorder is black and white thinking comes into play too, especially when I'm emotionally charged or when I'm very depressed. Like, I am convinced, dude, that, like, I am the worst thing to happen to the world. I am convinced that I'm incapable of anything I want to do, that my skills are just not up to snuff. I am convinced that my friends and my family want nothing to do with me, or that because I haven't talked to them in a certain amount of time, that they believe that I hate them. I'm a bad son, I'm a bad friend, I'm a bad whatever. I believe those things, dude. Very black and white. And I'll argue with people about it, you know? That aspect of it happens to me in like specific moments. Like it has more power over me in specific emotional states as somebody living with bipolar disorder. Someone with borderline personality disorder, this is like a almost daily part of their reality. And they have to fight that all the time, dude. It's exhausting. It is exhausting. It is way less exhausting to follow the path of least resistance, which is support what I believe, right? My friend would give me examples and evidence why I didn't like him. And logically, when he said it, it made sense to me why that would support how he felt. But he wouldn't see any of the other things that were happening right around those examples, sometimes in the same moments, that proved otherwise, that proved that I did care, that proved that I did value him or did enjoy my time in this space or whatever, right? It's a cognitive bias. What is it called? Confirmation bias. Okay, so the idea that if you believe something, you will actively pursue information that supports a pre-existing belief. So, a common example, you might have seen this with like older dudes, like boomers, okay? Boomer guy believes that women are terrible drivers, right? Believes it. If it's a bad driver, it's probably a woman, right? Assumes that before they even see who's driving. Someone cuts them off in traffic, probably a woman, right? You ever met that guy? If they get cut off in traffic by someone, they believe women are bad drivers, they pull up at a stoplight, look to their left or to their right, and whoever happens to be driving that vehicle that cut them off is female. See? I told you. Women suck at driving. They're terrible drivers, right? What happens, like it's strong evidence, right? All of a sudden, strong evidence to support this idea. What happens to that same person when they pull up to that stoplight and when they look over, it's a dude that's in the driver's seat? Suddenly the dude is the exception to the rule, right? Oh, it wasn't a woman this time, but it's usually a woman. It's usually a woman. Well, I guess there's exceptions to every rule. You know, they're like stubborn and bullheaded about it, right? And here's the kicker. When you walk away from that experience, that person who walks away from that experience isn't even going to remember the exception, right? That is not, like, as far as like the hierarchy of information that they need to remember, that is not high for them. It is a lower tier experience that is not that important. And I'm not even saying like their conscious decision making. I am just saying like on a subconscious level, it's not that big of a deal to them because it doesn't support what they already know. That's not cognitive dissonance. That's a confirmation bias. Happens to all of us, by the way. There's something that happens about with you. I promise. It's very common. It's a normal part of our pattern recognition brains, which is really all our brains do is recognize patterns all the time. It's just about the way that those patterns come across, right? So we all have that. Confirmation bias is really powerful with borderline personality disorder. It is a lot of times like one of the things that spurns the black and white thinking on and makes it so difficult to like think outside of that. So why does all this matter? Kind of addressing the idea, why would somebody want to believe that they are wrong all the time? It's not necessarily about the want, but there are reasons why that might happen. There are also reasons why a person might pursue supporting evidence to back that up, because it's like, if you already believe this, it's easier for you to accept information that supports it. To accept information that challenges it, it's to do that. I don't know if anybody like has like spiritual faith or practices or anything like that. I don't really like, I'm not religious. Okay. So I can't like really relate on that. But if you do, how would you respond to anybody telling you that what you believe is bullcrap? Probably the same way that I would respond to anybody telling me that if I didn't believe in something, that I'm going to hell. Right? Tell me you're not going to resist that just inherently, right? Because that's your truth. And that's a much harder thing. There's so many more implications that come along with trying to challenge your belief. Because that means, like, if you're wrong about something that you believe in, that doesn't just mean that you're wrong about that subject. That means that every decision you've ever made that is supported by the faith that you have in the thing or the idea, you also have to consider that that was wrong. Anything that you feel like you have done that is good in support of this belief that you have, it makes you rethink that. It recontextualizes so much. There's like a whole chain reaction, dude. And that happens to people like super quickly. And it's overwhelming, dude. It's painful. Honestly, it's a painful experience. This might provide some insight to this goes beyond mental health too. But like it might provide some insight into why, if you've ever met a person who you felt like is like bullheaded about something, there's a strong chance that they believe in something related to that, whether it's explicitly the subject that you are arguing with them about or something that idea supports in their life, like in their version of reality, how they view the world. So like getting the idea that things might be different across to somebody when it's linked to a belief is really difficult, because you're not just talking about that idea. You're talking about the person's whole life. Again, I'm not someone with borderline personality disorder. I only have experiences with friends who have borderline personality disorder, so I'm not an expert, right? But I do understand black and white thinking, and I do understand the power of faith and belief. It has nothing to do with spirituality, really. It can, but it doesn't. Not in the context I'm talking about it on. It's, I don't know. It's a hard thing to challenge. And I've seen it go, like to add complexity to this. I'm monologuing a lot. Forgive me. You guys might be sharing some things that I should be like responding to, and I'm sorry if I have just been going off. I guess I'll just close with this, that borderline personality disorder like sometimes gets characterized as like a person who has like very hot and cold feelings towards people in their relationships, right? I love this person very much. They're amazing. I hate this person because they've wronged me. This person thinks I'm amazing and we have the best friendship. This person hates me. You know, it's like goes back and forth between one to the other, and it's not always consistent. It can ping pong a lot, and that ping pong can happen really quickly too. So you can understand like why a person would struggle a lot with relationships when they're dealing with this. Imagine your reality changing all the time, you know, your belief changing drastically all the time. Like it's hard to find stable footing in that, right? And so like, yeah, the complexity of that really comes in where, okay, somebody's telling you something, or you're telling somebody something who deals with this, right? Who deals with borderline, that they are like, nope, I 100% don't believe that at all. I don't feel that way about myself. This is how it is. And then a couple days from then. They're like, you know what? You were so right. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Everything you said was correct and blah, blah, blah. And if you try to say anything to the opposite of that, they're going to resist just as hard on that, right? It can get like, it's muddied up. But it all boils down to a belief. All boils down to, this is your version of reality. And that's your truth. And your truth is valid. Like, and everybody has one of those. There's not really, there is, I guess technically speaking, there is an objective truth, but even within that, there are as many truths as there are people in the world. And understanding that will help us communicate with each other a lot better. And it'll help us to understand, like, where people's emotions are coming from and our, how other people might be feeling a lot better too when we consider that. Again, I know kind of went a little all over the place. Some of these ideas might feel kind of abstract, but hopefully some of this makes sense to you guys. I think I'm gonna go now, said Ghosty. I have a headache, and for some reason my hand is in so much pain right now. For some reason, It have nothing to do with the scalding hot shower or the really painful fingers from earlier. I'm honestly, jokes aside though, I'm sorry. I hope that your hand feels better. Yeah, go get some rest. Thanks for your support tonight, Ghosty. I appreciate you. Listen, we take a pause real quick. Get some hearts in the chat, everybody. If you got typing fingers available, if you're at a point where you can send a message, put some hearts, man. Share some love. Some of this stuff might be hitting home for a lot of people. Some of this stuff might be reminding you all of some pretty difficult things or some frustrating things, or maybe somebody you know. Take a moment to honor those feelings and just like reflect on it a little bit, Share some support for each other too, because we're all feeling things right now. I'm feeling things right now. I haven't talked to my friend, that friend that I was talking about. I haven't talked to him in a while. He probably thinks I just hate him, and I hate that he might feel like that. I also might be wrong, But this is reminding me that like I should reach out to him more. So I'm definitely gonna shoot him a message and see how he's doing after this stream. But a lot of thoughts right now, a lot of feelings right now. How about egg? Egg works. I can dig it. Well, I have to know the story behind the egg emote. Where did that come from? Mimu's emotes always have a story behind them. They're usually inspired by something that happened in the stream. Those parrots were not intentional, but whatever. Parrots are fine. Parrots are good. I mean, they're birds, so they're not real, but like, I'll accept them. I didn't hit my hand with a hammer, I swear. Oh no. Oh, that's how it happened? Did I miss that earlier? Oh, dude. Oh, God. I understand. That's the worst. God, it's got to be throbbing, man. Well, then, in that case, what I was talking about earlier is very much the opposite of what you would need. Ice, 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 ice. Ice on the fingies. Ice on the hand. So let's see. Kevin said earlier, I was diagnosed with BPD just last year. We're still not 100% sure, but pretty sure. That was a shock for sure, but it does add up. It was listed as possible since 2017. It's a hard thing to diagnose with certainty before like ruling out some other stuff, because there's like a lot of overlap with other conditions. Like the friend that I was telling you about, Kevin, tell all you about really, but for your benefit right now, Kevin, he was diagnosed as bipolar for almost his whole life. And then he got like a new psych. The psych was seeing him for a while, posed the question, maybe actually like what you're dealing with isn't bipolar, because the treatments weren't really working to help him with it. And he's like, what do you mean? and they kind of explored this idea together over the course of several months. And then like, you know, he got a re-diagnosis, psych eval, all that. They tried some different medication, tried some different like therapies and stuff. And when they started treating it as borderline, it was helping him more. But like, there's a lot of overlap between those two, and so those two get confused a lot. You know, it's been helping him a lot more since he got that diagnosis. Because I think that one actually was, you know, accurate. But wild, right? Like you could go through your whole life having the wrong diagnosis. Sometimes it just takes a different perspective to help you, you know, see things that are happening. And with mental illness, I think it really does help to have an objective outside perspective, and getting multiple opinions. You know, there's a lot of ways to interpret things. I've always said this about diagnoses, by the way. A professional's job in diagnosing things, like the power in a professional being the one who diagnoses things, is to rule out everything that it could not be, right? They have more knowledge to be able to do that. And that's where you get accurate diagnoses. It's not in figuring out what symptoms line up with what it could be. It's about ruling out what it wouldn't be because of the combination of symptoms that you have and experiences that you live with. It's the same with physical health. That's why Dr. Google is not always great, because you can easily find, you know, what swelling in your wrist might be. You can find 15 different answers for that. Doesn't really narrow it down, does it? You know, you can make assessments with that information based on what you have experienced, but you probably don't have the knowledge to be able to say this is what it is not, you know, definitively. The professional's job is to be able to do that effectively. I'm not saying that they're all great at it, but I'm saying that is the benefit there. So yeah, I understand. Basically, what I'm saying is I understand like why they might not be 100% sure about it, Kevin, and then it might, you know, take some more time to really like narrow down. But it's good. It's good to like start somewhere, and maybe, you know, like if that's what you found out, you know, like, would you guys like treating it as such, and has that been helpful or what? Reap said earlier, your examples are never stupid. I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you saying that. What's up, Reggie? Welcome back, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, Reeves, because I'd be going off sometimes, you know what I mean? Kevin said, now isn't that interesting, Vince? I was diagnosed with that, like I said, and what did I say to you a while back? Remember, I thought you were mad at me? I wonder if that's a part of it. Oh, but it could be. Very plausible. Very plausible, Kevin. Yeah, because I remember when you came back too, and you were like, oh, I thought you were mad at me because of, I think the reason you gave was like, I think I said something that offended you or upset you or something like that. And like, I couldn't even remember what you were talking about, you know? But like, that idea stood out to you. And clearly it was like a very powerful experience for you, and was like a clear indicator that like, oh, this streamer dude hates me. Like, he's so pissed at me. But you know, again, like, and that was your truth, right? So what did you do? You acted in a way that was accordance with that truth, which is an action that probably made sense. If I did hate you, it would make sense to like not hang out, you know, not talk to us, or leave the community. That's what I would do if somebody hated me, you know, like I wouldn't hang around with them. But like, yeah, it's easy to jump on that stuff when you're struggling with BPD, for sure. For sure. That's what I've been doing. I've been arguing those trying to help me that I am in fact bad. Yeah. Yeah. And so again, on that subject, son of a gun, it doesn't take mental illness to like have very negative beliefs about oneself, right? You don't have to be diagnosed with anything or like have a condition. for you to struggle with that. Like this stuff could happen to anybody. Having those conditions makes you more susceptible to these types of things, right? It also makes you more predisposed to having those types of experiences, those views, those beliefs, those negative emotions more naturally. But they are not a requirement for you to have those types of thoughts or feelings, right? I want to be very clear about that. We're talking about mental health awareness. Like I think there's sometimes a confusion about that. And you think, oh, if I have these types of thought patterns, maybe I have this mental health condition. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. You know, it would definitely be warranting of talking to a professional about if you are curious about that and want to explore it further. But don't assume that other people must have this condition too because they behave this way or express this, you know, type of thought. You know, we don't know. Remember, the diagnosis isn't about what lines up necessarily symptom wise or behavior wise. It's more about what doesn't, what is it not? Because you can come up with like 3 or 4 different explanations, even with a minimal knowledge of mental health and mental illness as to what somebody might be struggling with, based on what you're observing. Right. But chances are you're overlooking something, at least one thing. Anyway, yeah, this stuff adds up. This makes sense. Kevin, thanks for sharing. And oh, Jesus Christ. It's Reaps. You bastard man. I love you, but I hate you so much. That's the first time in a long time that actually scared the crap out of me. Oh, God dang it. God dang it, man. I'm ruined too. Prince ruined me because he used to hit me with that so much that my mind automatically was like, Prince. I'm like mad at Prince. He didn't have nothing to do with this, dude. Prince, I'm sorry. Oh, man. What would a Reaper be without jump scares? A bad Reaper. The sound needs to be louder. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to trigger or scare you guys. The idea is for it to scare me. It used to be louder. It was problematic for headphone users. So we lowered the volume on the stream end. Oh, man. Mimu said the eggs were for a friend. He loved eggs and has been feeling down lately. And since he supports the stream so much, I wanted to make him an egg emote. Oh, that's super cool. I love that. See, look, one of the perks of being an artist and a streamer is that, like, dude, you can just make stuff right away to respond to what's going on in your communities. I think that's awesome. Oh, they must have appreciated that so much. Oh, it's only on the stream end? That it's that low? Yeah. Yeah. It's way louder in my ears. Like, that was louder than anything else coming into my ears. My voice, my music, all that. Scared the hell out of me, dude. I have to, like, calm down. All right, I'm going to come back. Max has shared some stuff. So they said, you saying, or this is much earlier, they said, you saying that it makes me think about my neighbor. It makes me think about how my neighbor hates me for living here in my apartment because I'm hearing slamming doors and things. Oh, yeah, I get that. I could understand that. That's hard too, because like, if you feel that way, every single time you hear the slamming, it's like reinforcing this idea. You know, oh, they're doing it more today, so they must be really pissed at me today. And then on the days where they're doing it less, it's like, oh, but they're still doing it. So like, dang, they must still hate me, you know? When there could be like a million reasons why they're slamming stuff around. Yeah, that's tough, dude. I'm sorry that you deal with that. This also started when I was young, to be honest. It's very hard to deal with because I always feel uncomfortable and embarrassed for being wrong. And to be honest, I have no friends because of it. Oh, that's tough, Max. Well, listen, dude, you got buddies here. All right. I mean, I know we're not the same as like in real life friends, and you know, we only know so much about you and stuff like that. But you got support here, man. There's people out there too who like can understand this stuff. You know, it's tough, man. It's tough. Like the friend that I mentioned that lives with borderline, he has a hard time with relationships. It's just kind of part of it, you know? It's part of his experience. I wish that it wasn't, like, dearly, because it's agonizing, man. Feeling alone is agonizing. And I know that that's really amplified when you have those kinds of feelings, too, like on a regular basis. But, like, dude, there's people out there who still love you. There's people who think about you. There's people who see your worth. There's people who might not fully understand what you go through, but like want to. You know what I mean? Anybody who's ever argued with you about why you're not bad or why you're not totally wrong, or, you know, has tried to offer some support to you, is proof of that, I think. I gotta imagine that's gotta be tough too, right? Like, I'm thinking about it, trying to think about it from your perspective, where like, if you believe that like you are wrong about something and somebody is challenging that idea, do you interpret that as somebody is trying to make a fool of you, as opposed to someone is trying to support you in seeing that, in like seeing your skill set? I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I worded that correctly. Let me know if that makes sense or not. I'm sorry. It's a little bit of both. Okay. Okay, well that's good. That's actually pretty cool then. Cause like I expected you to say that like, no, they're just trying to prove me wrong. Which I would understand. But the fact that you can see a little bit of both is actually really cool. There's a lot of people who struggle with borderline that have a tough time even seeing that it could be different than just them trying to prove me wrong, you know? So that's a good sign. I mean, that tells me that you try to apply a lot of thought to this. Also, I'm getting a little bit more of an understanding of you too through what you're sharing. Like, dude, if I felt that way all the time, like if I was always like really wanted to be correct about something and it was feeling super embarrassed about being wrong, and felt like my belief systems were being challenged all the time and stuff like that just because of like how I perceive things, dude, I would be pissed off all the time. Like that'd be so irritating. You know what I mean? Like, it must feel some days like you're constantly having to prove you exist in the way that you do. And that would be maddening. I don't know. Maybe I'm interpreting that wrong. Maybe that's not how you feel, but like, I guess I'm relating to it on days where I'm like, I can't explain to other people why I carry the emotion that I do, or why I see things the way that I do. Like, sometimes I'll be like, I can logically agree with how you tell me I am wrong about the way I'm perceiving things. What you say makes a lot of sense to me. And you're probably right. And even in accepting that you're probably right, I feel like that's bullcrap. because this is how I feel. I still feel like this is terrible and this is what's happening, even if I know that that's not the case. Isn't that wild? And feeling like that is, dude, sometimes it's super depressing. Sometimes it's infuriating. And other times, because like I get this on like the manic side too, because there's another side of that with the bipolar. Sometimes it's like, don't you dare burst my bubble. You know, like I'm mad that somebody is trying to like bring me down and poke holes in like my delusion, so to speak, you know, and this idea that this very positive and like idealistic feeling that I'm having right now. It's weird, dude. But all of it feels like adversity, and anybody who feels any sort of adversity, like it's upsetting, you know? Reggie, you got an answer to the question of the day. Let's go. Let's go. So if you had not caught it earlier, chat, the question of the day today is, oh, did my thing not save? Oh, that's annoying. Anyway, sorry, I'll post it here for you so you have a visual of it too. But why are games so, or able to be so emotionally powerful? What is it about games that gives them the potential to be so impactful on an emotional level? That's what we're talking about today. Reggie said, stories have a means to let you into another person's shoes and allow you to experience their highs and lows, and allows you to experience that human side of compassion and sadness and emotions. Yeah. And in a game setting, it's like the games are designed to be immersive, right? So like you can read a book or watch a show about experiences and like that can be valuable, but there's something about having agency in those stories, having agency in those characters. You can make decisions. You are doing things actively to participate in whatever the story in the game is. And that intrinsically creates a more powerful link between you, the player, and what's on the screen. Because now you're a part of it. It's not just you observing something, right? Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Thanks for sharing, Reggie. I dig it. Enter Danny DeVito. Could I offer you an egg in these trying times? Love it, dude. That's a It's Always Sunny reference, right? Kev said, treatment hasn't really started yet. I'm waiting to get into therapy programs. Right now, I'm just reading books on it. Well, that's good. That's good. I hope that if you decide to, I'm not telling you you need to, but if you decide to get into some treatment for it, I hope that you find what works for you. In the meantime, though, I think it's good that you're reading up on it and arming yourself with some more knowledge. I hard left the community, so I'm glad I checked with you. I'm glad you did too. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. It's not always, people don't always do that, you know? I mean, once I've made a decision on something, there's a lot of times when I'm just like, I've made that decision, I'm moving on, you know? I might think about it, but I won't always go back and like, you know, reassess actively, you know what I mean? I'm glad you did though, so we could clear things up for sure. All right, ads are coming up here in just a few seconds, probably about 20, 30 seconds. Oh yeah, no problem, Max. No problem, dude. Like I said, like I was saying to Son of a Gun earlier, I know that all of what I say might not stick emotionally, and that's okay if it doesn't. But I want to say it anyway, and hopefully, you know, maybe it'll come up during a time that's relevant in the future. I don't know. Either way, It's what I believe right now about you. You know? You guys are better than you think. You guys are so much better than you think. It's really easy to get down on ourselves. Listen, I know ads are about to come up here. It's almost 11 o'clock my time. I streamed way longer than I meant to. I'm not going to ditch out in the middle of ads, but we are going to wind down here pretty soon. Okay? I'm freaking starving too. I meant to eat like 2 hours ago, dude. I feel like the love I have in my heart, said Reggie, comes from knowing how it feels to be in a place where people insult you and put you down. So I try to just throw out all the love I can for anyone that needs and wants it. Love more, man. It's a simple idea. And I am 100% behind it for the same reasons, Reggie. Dude, I was bullied my whole childhood, and like I remember there's a point in my life where like I even bullied other people because I was so bitter about it. I got tired of being on the receiving end of it. I remember how I felt whenever I realized what I was doing to other people, and I was like, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I want to do the exact opposite. Like, it hurt me to realize that that I was affecting people that way. In the same way that other people had made me feel bad, you know? How can I do that to somebody else? I should understand. I don't know. I always wanted to treat people right before I hit that epiphany moment. But like, I struggled, man. It's that bitterness, that anger, you know, that we were talking about earlier in the stream. I don't know, that epiphany point ended up being really impactful for me, and it was loud. And so it became louder than any bitterness or anger I would feel throughout most of my life, where I'm like, I need to be better than that though. I can actively do something to use what I've learned and what I've experienced, even the negative things, to like make, at least in my immediate vicinity, the world a little bit better, you know? And I should try to do that. So like, I get that, man. It all comes from places of pain, dude. I think a lot of the times that we try to put good back into the world or do for others, a lot of times the motivations come from places of pain. You know, we don't want others to experience what we have. The negative, anyway. I've always appreciated that about you, Reggie. It's the BTP classes that made me see that it's okay to be wrong. Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. It's good to understand that it's okay to be wrong, because we're going to be wrong a lot in our lives. And like, dude, I'm with you. It's embarrassing. It feels bad to be wrong. It's frustrating. Now people are going to think I'm stupid. That's aggravating. If they think I'm stupid, they're also going to look down on me. I have less opportunities now. Doors are closing because people think I'm not smart. All because I was wrong. But we catastrophize in our brain that way. It's not always what people are thinking. That's not the conclusion that people are jumping to if we happen to be wrong. But that's what we're, you know, so worried about. At least, that's what I'm so worried about, you know? But there's so much power in being able to accept that we can be wrong. And we gotta be, you know? When we're wrong, I feel like that can motivate us to learn more. And then we're smarter, and then we have more knowledge. That doesn't really equate to us being wrong less, but it allows us to be wrong less in that particular subject until we end up getting to a point in our knowledge where we come across things that we don't yet understand, because that's where the conversation takes us now. And then we have to learn more, which we'll probably realize again when we have been wrong again. It's kind of a little cycle. But it's okay, man. It's okay. Everybody's wrong. No big deal. Thanks for hosting these streams and being a place to help so many people. Oh, dude, for real. No problem at all, son of a gun. Yeah, and honestly, like you guys help yourselves so much, you know. I'm happy to be here to be able to give you guys a place to do that. Like I said, I share a lot about what I know, and I hope it never comes across as like me being a know-it-all or like having the answers for these things that you guys deal with. That's not what I want. If I can provide some insight with what I know, great. But honestly, so much of what you guys tell me about yourselves is food for thought for me to try and like dig a little deeper, explore a little bit more, and try to understand a bit better. So I'm always trying to learn too. And you guys are a huge part of that. A huge part of that for me. I don't just, hit exit stream and then, go sit on my couch and like pretend like the last several hours didn't exist. There's so much I think about in these streams, and there's so much that you guys talk about that like comes up in my head when I'm talking to other friends, or even in my job whenever I'm like doing peer support, or if I just happen to run across somebody who does something, says something, or acts a certain way that reminds me of something you guys have mentioned in the stream, and I'm like, oh, like I feel like I understand that situation a little bit better because of this stuff. So it's great, man. Like, it's mutual. That's what I'm trying to say. Learning is caring. I think so. A willingness to learn is something that is invaluable for everybody, I think. In anything. In anything. I could go down a rabbit hole with that too. I gotta not. I need to eat, guys. I need to eat. Did you see the answer to my question of the day? Eagle, I might have missed it. Hold on. Wait, where? I did miss it. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Okay. So Eagle was talking about the question of the day, which is like, why are video games able to be so emotionally impactful? Eagle said, my short answer to this is that video games are a unique medium in how audience is involved. Players are participants in the story instead of observers. So it doesn't matter if you can change the story in a game or not. The fact is that you must necessarily react to what's going on when you're participating. You can be semi-engaged in the story you observe, but you must be fully engaged when playing a game, since you have to take action based on what's happening. Oh, dude. Oh my God, yeah. 100% agree. 100% agree. That's so funny, man. That's like exactly what I was talking about too. I feel that 100%. There's something we talk about in peer support called the power of choice, and that like having choice is powerful. Like not having choice is where we feel powerless. And so I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this. I'll share one more thing personally, and I swear I'll get off my soapbox on this, but one of the things that sets peer support apart from other mental health services is that power of choice and mutuality between the professional and the person that we're serving is the core, right? So in therapy, a therapist is trying to provide answers and insight, right? Psychiatrist is trying to provide treatment in the form of medication. Like in peer support, we're just trying to be there with you. We're trying to be there with you. And it can look weird sometimes, right? I remember learning this in our class when I was being trained to be a peer specialist. And I think the example was, if you're supporting a peer and say part of working on their goals today is that you guys go to the shopping mall together, right? And they're trying to become more confident in public settings because they've been at home by themselves for the last several years, and now they've developed anxiety around being around others. Okay. Now, if you're at the shopping mall with them, and this peer gets into an argument with the cashier in the store, and things get heated, and the cops get called. The cops come out. They are talking to the peer, and the peer who is angry or upset or aggravated is only responding emotionally, and they're not actually explaining the situation. What do you do? And a bunch of people were like, oh, we would tell the cops, like, here's what they deal with, here's what they're struggling with right now, give context on the situation, which sounds like the helpful thing to do. And it is, and that would be helpful. But my instructor was like, that's not what you do in your role as a peer specialist. And we're like, what do you mean? So we just let this stuff happen? And he's like, it's not about whether you let stuff happen or not. It's about finding the opportunity to give that person power. What's going to give that person power? Is you explaining the situation to the cops for them, giving them power? The answer is no, because they don't have any agency in that. They didn't make the decision for you to do that. They didn't, unless you talked about it ahead of time and said, if this situation happens, I would like you to do this so that I can do this. Unless you've had that conversation, this is not an empowering interaction for them. You are taking control of the situation, and then you are trying to fix it. So even if the end result is like positive, they don't have to go to jail or something like that, right? Their interpretation of that event is, this person was super helpful and super nice to me. They're the reason why I didn't get in trouble. I still did something wrong. I still did something bad. I'm a bad person still. And maybe they don't have the thought of I'm a bad person, but they definitely don't have the thought of, I got myself out of this situation. I made a good choice, and I am capable of making good choices. They're looking at that whole situation and they're like, I made a series of bad decisions, or I let myself get out of control and somebody had to save me. I am a burden on that person. That is not empowering at all. And I was like, oh my God. All right, this role is actually a lot more complex than it seems. And this is like, in the moment, it's really hard to illustrate that to people on the outside, especially to other mental health professionals. And not everybody is familiar with like how peer support works, right? I've worked with a case manager who we had the same peer on our caseload. And that case manager accused me all the time of being too soft, of not holding my peer accountable, of not, taking decisive action on things about their situation. And I'd have to explain to them, I'm like, that's not my role. Even if that's what they need, they don't need that from me, their peer specialist. They need that from you maybe, but like, I can't do that. That's not my role. My role is to empower them. My role is to help them figure out where their choices are, how they can take control of those, and to get them to a point where they can believe that they are able to take control of their lives. It is not good for me in my profession to take power away from them, even if the short term of that moment is preventing something that is less than ideal. And it sucks in those situations because I want to so bad. I'm a helper, I want to fix things. But like, I'm actually doing my job wrong if I'm doing that in those kinds of situations. If I'm not at least first trying to figure out how to empower that person, So you might be wondering, well, then Vince, what should you do in that situation? I should talk to the person, like my peer, and be like, so do you understand what's going on? And try to level with them, right? Get them to a place where we can talk Maybe my involvement with the police officers will be like, can I just talk to them for a minute? Can you give me a few minutes just to talk with them? And then you guys, you can do what you're gonna do next. That might be my role in advocating for that person there, right? Hopefully they comply and it works out. Cool, I get that. Now I'm talking with the person and I'm saying like, okay, here's what's going on. What do you think is going on right now? And if they can like talk to me about it, then we can be like, all right, what do you think your choices are right now? What options do you think you have at this moment? And if their response is like, well, none, because I've screwed myself, my job is then to figure out, okay, well, like maybe the options that you have aren't ones that you would want, but like what can you do right now? How can you influence things, even within the realms of inevitability, right? It's about figuring that out. And so at the end of that discussion, I should have been able to help them at least see some sort of path that they could make a decision on. Even if that path really just amounts to, okay, I need to like accept the consequences for what's happening and like either admit to things or explain myself, and then also understand that me explaining myself might not necessarily prevent a negative outcome, right? The result could be the same in that situation, but their perception of that experience is very different. And that perception of their experience is what our job as peer specialists is to facilitate. It is our job to make sure, to the best of our ability, that we can give as many tools, as many options, as many paths, present them as possible that we know how to, so that the person we're supporting might be able to see that they have more choice and more agency than they believe. And then to take that, it's not our responsibility to make sure they take it. It's our responsibility to help them see it, and present them with opportunities. It's their choice whether or not they're going to take it. But walking away from that experience, that person will feel so much more empowered and in control of their lives if they took an active role in whatever happened there, even if the outcome was kind of negative. You know what I mean? I think so much in what people struggle with mental health or mental illness is lack of control, lack of agency, the belief that I am bad, that I can't do anything, that I am stuck dealing with what I deal with. And it means this. It means I'm a burden. It means other people have to take care of me. It means that I am not good enough to work, all these different things. And that is the damning nature of it. That is the hard part. At least in my experience with living with mental illness. That's where it's been the worst for me. So yeah, it's kind of complex. The role of a peer specialist is kind of complex. But choice is everything, man. Choice is powerful. I sensed Expedition 33, so I'm back. Ghosty never left, dude. Ghosty never left. Don't let her lie to you. Oh, man. I'm going to be honest. I still could not tell you what compelled me to come back here, to be honest, but I definitely don't regret it one bit. I don't know, man. You would know better than I, but I am so glad you did too, Reggie. So glad, man. It's like someone tells you that Expedition 33 is better than Final Fantasy VII is wrong, but it's based on opinions and interpretations. But my opinion is that FF7 is still the GOAT for me, and that's all that matters. Who cares about what others think about FF7? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's really hard for me to hear other people say this game is better than FF7 too. I shouldn't say it's really hard, because I don't know, interest in games and stuff is like so subjective. But if that person was like, no, you need to accept that this game is better than Final Fantasy VII, I'll be like, you might as well give up now. Like, I'm not going to convince you that FF7 is better, but you're not going to convince me that it isn't. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in that conversation. I'll hear why you think Expedition 33 is great, though. I am interested in that conversation. Processing and understanding / accepting what's happening absolutely changes the person's experience, even if it doesn't change the outcome. Yeah. It's our perception, man. It's how we perceive things, how we understand events that are happening. That is where the power is. And honestly, I do think that would lead to a change of outcome most of the time. And it does. It does. It's just not like the most direct change in outcome. You might never actually see it, you know, because it might have planted a seed for that person that they see come to fruition so much later than, you know, your time with them. But it exists because of that moment. It's all about planting seeds, man. Just like we were talking about earlier in the stream with perception of like ourself and the idea that like things could be different than what we believe about ourselves, you know? You're not going to be able to strong arm anybody into believing differently about themselves, but like doing little things to challenge that over time can add up and help you to, you know, plant seeds that might grow. Some of them might die out, but you know, some of them might grow. Anyway, go eat something, Vince. Oh, I was reading that message, Max, and then I for some reason read this right after I said that as "go eat Vince." Like somebody needed to eat me. Don't eat me. I don't know why I read that way. It's so dumb. Anyway. My brain right now, dude. Do I dare say that I think Clair Obscur is better than OG FF7 and the remake trilogy? I won't unmod you. I have no experience to weigh in on that or not. I will accept that you feel that way. Just don't expect me to feel that way. Oh, man. Hell yeah, Max. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm playing Expedition 33 in June too, so you guys, if you are interested in that game, get your hands on it as soon as you can. That way you can agonize alongside me in not being able to tell me all the things that happen in that game when I play it next month. But no, all jokes aside, I know a lot of people worry about spoilers when we play RPGs here. If you're worried about that and you don't want to miss the streams, that's what I would recommend you do in order to make sure that you can be there. If you don't want to do that, don't worry about it either. I'm not gonna be mad about it. I'll just miss you, that's all. You know, but we'll see you after Expedition 33 is done. It'll be fine. We'll still be here. Eagle, have a good night, man. It was good to see you today. No problem, man. Thank you for coming into the stream. I'd have to be stupid to ever think that you love any other JRPG over FF7. Not stupid. Wise, actually. That's wisdom, Ghosty. Oh, you're playing Ghost of Tsushima? Oh, man, that's gonna... Enjoy it. That's a big game, man. That's a big game. I still have to play that, too. I watched my wife play it for a really long time, though, and she's still not done. All right. I know that there were answers to the question of the day that I missed. Son of a gun, I want to get to yours because I know you're here and you mentioned it a couple of times. So Son of a gun answered saying, because like most fantasy us humans create, we can find ways to relate to it and we design it around ourselves. Like God of War and the desire to take care of our children no matter the cost, or Red Dead Redemption 2, and how greed can drive us to be our worst selves. Oh yeah, man. That's a really good point. We try to relate to just about everything we consume, right? A lot of times we try to, like, even if we don't realize it, we're trying to see ourselves in things that are around us. That's a really good point. That's got to be a huge reason as to to why like games end up being so impactful, because not only are we already doing that, already trying to like see ourselves in these things, these stories, these experiences, and how they would apply to us, but like then we're reinforcing it with whatever choices we might get to make in that story too, being that it's a video game. That's cool. That's good insight, son of a gun. Gosh, dude. I saw myself in so many different aspects of God of War, now that we're talking about that. Whether it was like certain elements of like Kratos and his role as a mentor and a father. Like I've seen myself in some of his actions there and in some of his mistakes too. But for sure in the role of Atreus and like how he was trying to make sense of the world and find meaning in his actions and like understand his father and like then to try to make decisions for himself with what he knew at the time, only to discover that there was still so much more to learn. Like, dude, I related with all that so hard in so many of those moments. Oh, dude, God of War is awesome. All right. I have to go. Thank you all for keeping me company tonight. I hope that you enjoyed this show. Again, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. We're going to have a lot of conversations like this throughout the month. We're going to try to center a lot of them around the stuff that we're taking in with the games that we're playing too. Sorry it didn't work out with Night in the Woods tonight. And it's going to be okay, Ghosty. It's going to be okay. Hopefully we'll have a better experience with Night in the Woods on Wednesday. I'll work to make that happen. Expect tomorrow to be filled with Sea of Solitude. All right, we're going to check that out. Should be a good time. I'm pretty excited about that game. I'll tell you guys all about it then. In the meantime, I hope you all have a beautiful night. Boy. Oh, you got the Kratos emote too. I love it. Love it. Yes. Persona music can be on all day long. Oh, do I love it. Love it. I'm going to do something really quick. I did not prepare a raid, so we're just going to jump into someone I see. Oh, Siege is on. Hell yes, dude. Hell yes. We're going to raid Siege today. Did I tell you guys that we're doing charity streams this month? And did I also tell you guys that Siege the Day is going to be part of our fundraising team? Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. If you want to know what you can expect from him, why don't we give you a little sneak peek? Check it out. Raid Siege with me. This dude is awesome. You guys are going to like him, I promise. Especially if you like what we got going on here. Just try to get into like a deep conversation with him. You'd be surprised, man. This guy's a wise dude. And he's really fun. Although he's playing Marvel Rivals right now, so you might have to try extra hard. Because he's going to be locked in, I'm sure. But this dude's got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of fun things to play with in his stream. Let's go see what's up. If you haven't realized already, check out the merch shop. We got mugs, we got hoodies, we got t-shirts, all that good stuff. Go pick you something up. Check us out on social medias. We got all of our links right there in the chat. Check out the link tree for that. Follow me on Blue Sky, dude. I post a lot of random stuff on there. You'll have fun, I swear. Enjoy the Discord. All right, that's it. There's raid messages in the chat. We're going to jump over into Siege of the Day's chat now. Thanks again for watching. I hope you all have a beautiful night. Keep your heads up, keep your hearts strong, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great one, everybody. Let's get to raiding. No problem. Thanks for being here.